Homeboys. Okay.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 Chief Rocket and Knicks University main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. What's good? Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Get that energy up, Knicks fans. Get that energy up. Let's go. Let's go. Knicks fans unite. Knicks fans unite. How y'all this morning? Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man. I miss y'all, man. I love this spot right here, man. I love this spot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I miss this spot kind of. We got other obligations and stuff. We trying to do a lot of things. We trying to do a lot of things, man, but I ain't gonna lie. This spot right here feels so good. It's like homecoming. It's like homecoming for me. It's like homecoming, man. I love this spot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love this. I love starting at 9 and rocking with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Just rocking the spot, man. I love this feeling. Shout out to my people that's in the chat. Phoenix, hey, Florida Sun, how you doing? White Falcon. Mr. Vince is in the building. Yeah, Mr. Vince is in the building. Mr. Vince, what's good? South BK is in the building. Okay, I see you. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie says, good morning to the family. No more considering y'all as chat to me. Y'all will always be acknowledged as family from here on now. Blessings, health, safety. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Ba-bim. Ba-bim. What's good? What's good? Pudge Nice is in the building. D'Angelo, what's good? What's good? D'Angelo says, there is heaven on earth if they are rumors out there about Randall. We are going to get into that. For those that want to consider the source, you know, we don't just make stuff up. Let me do this while I continue my shout outs. Let me consider this while I'm gonna do this while we continue the shout outs and stuff.
Completely
You know, we always try to do sourcing here. We
It
don't
sounded to me like he was never.
We don't want to just be like, yo, so
Darvin Ham heard that exit interview before he took the job.
DSJ is in the building. Was good.
Almost his first.
Was good. Shout out to Hardwill
after signing his
sitting the swag.
Was publicly
Hardwill
laying out exactly what he needed Russell Westbrook to do.
Hold on, let me do my joint.
Things happen in the NBA. I am not going to sit here and tell you
what he wants Westbrook to do, which is
to a defensive role player and to be a screen setter and stand in the corner and wait for the ball to come to him and make a shot.
Hardwill coming through with the swag. Shout out to Hardwill.
I'm not going to sit here and
say swagging your man up. Was good.
I've seen stuff in the NBA, but
was good.
The tenor of the way.
And for those of y'all laughing, no, I'm not 6'9".
What I know about him
6'5".
as a person, as a player,
I know how y'all do. Y'all think that's funny.
Very doubtful he's going to actually be able to follow through.
No, I'm not.
So the question is,
I'm 6'5", barely.
How long are they going to experiment with that, Dan? Are they going to experiment with that?
Barely.
The first 10 days of training camp?
Flow.
Are they going to do it in
right.
4 or 5 preseason?
Shout out to Hardwill for the swag.
October and November, experimenting with that. And if it doesn't,
I got it Saturday. My people are jealous.
Okay, everyone, that's a wrap.
Was good.
Lakers finished 11th last.
You think
Will Salkin was good.
Quickest way to see you.
I'm sorry, John, but I'm already in love.
Bo says I have audio playing in the background. Hold on. If I got audio,
they finished 11th.
Let me pause this thing.
Which teams did they pass?
Which team?
They finished ahead of them. Okay.
Which team is most likely to win a championship first?
Brooklyn Nets one spot ahead of the New York Knicks coming backwards. Okay. I'll give them that they
like you mean well that's not really a fair question to ask me because
my bad. Okay. All right. I had it paused. I don't know what was going on with that. I had it paused on the thing. Florida Sun says that's what you get. No, that's not my secret sauce. Florida Sun like that's it. That's your sauce? Nah, man, that ain't my sauce. No. Or my secret sauce? No. I had heard the rumor for a minute, and I just wanted to point out some things. Yeah. So Big Oso's in the building. What's good? Nick G is in the building. What's good? Yeah, man. Let me do something right quick, man. It's been a crazy morning. Yeah, man. Let me do something real quick. All right. There we go. Florida Sun says we should be on ESPN with our own show. Hey, man, I would love it, man. Can you imagine a show on all like that can reach that many people where it's all of us, like Bo Ismail, Big Oso, Florida Sun, Coach M, White Falcon, all of us together on one show. Just like all of us together. Of course, you know what I'm saying? It would be one of them things like it, but bro, rocking. Miss Geraldine is in the building. Miss Geraldine, did y'all bowl this weekend? Miss Geraldine, did y'all bowl this weekend? Let us know how you did if you did. Whether it was good or bad, let us know. Because we be wanting to keep we just want to keep track. Nick G says, yo, we can dream, man. I know. One day we will be big. One day. We just got a lot of stuff to work out in the interim. Right. Let me bring in one of Blorange Tears' finest. That should be a shirt, Blorange Tears' finest. We should put that on a shirt. Blorange Tears finest. Coach, what's good?
Morning. Salute panel. Salute Uncle Freezy.
Coach, I got the shirt from Hardwell. I stood up, but I forgot. I got so many wires and stuff all around here that it's tough for me to kind of maneuver because of the way we got the stuff set up with all these. But yeah, man, we got the Hardwell shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got that big brother size.
Yeah, man. I have on a 4X.
Nice.
Yeah, I got on a 4X. I'm trying to roll it up over these. Yeah, it's nice, bro. I got a 4X.
I got like the Olympic ring symbols, kind of.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let me ask Mo if she can bring. I'm gonna ask Mo if she can bring the other shirt in. Hold on, bear with me for just a second.
Hey, Blorange fam, don't forget to hit that like button when you get in. Them notifications.
Yeah, man. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo.
Oh, Bodega.
Every time I see Mo, I be thinking apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. So this is the Hardwell joint Hardwell sent to me, man. Much appreciation, Hardwell.
Oh, nice.
Let me move this stupid mic. Maybe if I move this stupid microphone out of the way, you can see it.
That's lit.
Bam. Shout out to Hardwell. How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good. After our little thing last night, I just kind of zoned out on some. I had to pivot my brain off the Knicks stuff for a second. Well, you know how like my son's up there. This is game week now. His first college game week.
Right.
He as a freshman, he made the travel squad obviously, and he's stressing out. He's going to be. He's a one in like one or two formations, but he's like the number 2, like Mike linebacker. So that's kind of a big response. In college, when you're the Mike linebacker, man, you're the QB of that front 7.
Yeah, man.
And that's a big responsibility. So that's the only thing keeping him from. Like physically, he's probably number 1, but. And we all know we probably have players like that on the Knicks. Some guys have all the physical tools, and they might not be able to handle running the team quite yet. Stuff like that.
But they'll contribute.
Oh yeah, he's going to be a contributor, and probably by a game or 2 into the season, he'll probably lock it in. But besides all that, long story short, because he's Division II. They got a couple brothers that do like a D2 football thing on YouTube, very similar to actually what you do, but it's like all about the whole landscape of Division II football and the coverage of it. They do a real good job, and it's just cool. Just as a sports fan in general, I just love when people are passionate about what they love. And they dive all in on it and give you true coverage, and they're very knowledgeable. So it was just cool to see, because there's 169, I think, Division II colleges that play football. So they got their own little world. You know what I'm saying? So their format's great. I mean, the FBS and Division I should eventually adopt it, the playoff system they have and all that stuff.
Right. So
besides all that, yeah, I did that at the end of the night, and I got my mind right at the end of that broadcast, and I slept good.
Yeah, man. Sleeping good is a beautiful thing.
So I'm excited for a new week, a new day. Hopefully some new news.
Yeah.
With the Knickerbockers.
Hopefully so. Hopefully. Hey man, so what I find is that Knicks fans kind of root differently during the off season than they do during the season.
Mm-hmm.
The off season is for dreaming. Regular season is for reality.
Yeah.
And we found that out last night with a couple of people on the panel, right?
Yeah.
So, but
optimism and realism.
Right. There are two separate things depending on what time of year it is.
Yeah.
All right. So let me get down to the nitty-gritty, the Julius Randle thing.
Mm-hmm.
So our franchise feels like Julius Randle doesn't have value. Like we don't value Randle, and for multiple reasons. I'm not naive, bro. I'm a grown up. I understand that Randle can grate on your nerves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I understand that. What I would say though is, hey, yo, and pardon that my barking dog, that's Benny. You know what I'm saying? He feels like he deserves a spot on the show too. Benny wants his own camera and all kind of, like, Benny, we in the same house. Why would we need two separate cameras? But you can't please a dog. So anyway.
Mm-hmm.
anyway. Randle has a weird value with us. I am in the minority that feels like Randle can contribute on this team at a high level.
Right.
But he does come with warts. He does have this thing where you question if he's mentally tough enough. Right. He does have this selfish thing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he can come across as clumsy in the media. Right. Like he's not engaging. Like this is Julius Randle in a press conference. Hey, Julius, hey, Randle, Juju, you hit the game winner against our arch rival Boston. So this is just me making up an imaginary scenario.
Right.
You hit a game winner against the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? And this is Randle. Notice how I'm not looking at anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we all played hard. Just want to move on to the next one. You know. So Juju, does that mean you're a Knicks all-time great? I don't want to think that far. I just want to, the referees, and you're like, Juju, people want to look you in your eyeballs, bro. People want to connect with you. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, I got the craziest eyes in the game, but I will use them to connect with my audience, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like this thing with Julius Randle where it's like he is uncomfortable in the spotlight, but wants to be the guy in the spotlight. You feel me, Coach?
Yep.
You feel me? It's like Allen Iverson was charismatic because Allen Iverson would give you too much, but you still wanted more. Right? Like Allen Iverson would give you too much and you still wanted more as a Philly fan. Like there are people around the league that, like, Coach, who's your favorite football player of all time? Just give you an
example. Probably Derrick Brooks.
Oh, perfect. Derrick Brooks is a man's man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I seen what did they have Derrick Brooks listed as at linebacker? What, like 6'1"?
Like 6'1", like 215, 210 maybe.
Something like that, right? All right. So when I saw Derrick Brooks looks to me like he's about 6 foot, about 225, 230.
Yeah.
That's what Derrick Brooks looks like to me. I saw him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He looks about 6 foot, like maybe a little bit over 6 foot, and about 230. Right? Because he's real. Dude's got a. You remember Roy Williams, the safety from the Dallas Cowboys? Roy Williams and Derrick Brooks to me look like about the same size.
Yeah. And
I know they have Roy Williams. They probably have the Dallas Cowboys. They always inflate everything, right? They probably had Roy Williams at like 6'3", 220. Roy Williams was not 220. If Roy Williams was 220, you and I are 220, right?
Yeah.
And Roy Williams at 6'2", 6'3". Roy Williams is not 6'2", 6'3". He's about 6 foot, right? Because at 6'5", I can look down in the top of Derrick Brooks' head.
Yeah.
Right. I got a homeboy, Big Kev. Shout out to Big Kev. The missus saw him yesterday grinding. Big Kev is legit 6'9", right? He can look into the top of my head. He like I used to tell him I'm 6'7". He like, no, you're not 6'7", bro. But just because you put shoes on, don't make you 6. You just tall with shoes on, right? But anyway, getting back to the Julius Randle thing, the Randle thing. I think Randle has more value around the league than what people think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the Philly website. I had to close it because it was audio playing in the background. But they were thinking about a Julius Randle for Tobias Harris swap straight up. Randle for Tobias Harris. What do you think?
I mean, man. I mean, he kind of fits our. I think with the players we're going to have and the kind of offense I think we want to run, at least on paper, he would fit that mold better than if Randle was stuck in the way he was last year. But my concern with Tobias is he's a little longer in the tooth. You know, he's got some NBA mileage.
He's older than Julius Randle, right?
Yeah. And like he's man, he's different. I mean, there's
he's what? Yeah, coach. Coach, you froze. Coach froze. Okay.
I'm still here. You here?
Yeah. You froze.
Hello. Oh, my bad.
You did the Iceman thing. You did the.
Yeah. No. Long story short, I'll try to keep it short. So I basically feel their final production looks very similar, where I think Randle's a hair better rebounder.
Okay.
But how they get to that final production and the flow of a game is different. So, wasn't Tobias Harris born in New York? Isn't he a Long Island guy?
He's from Long Island.
Yeah, I mean that's
shout out to Long Island. I know you don't know anything about Long Island, but
I do.
I'm just messing with you.
I was supposed to say that's where I was born.
Yeah,
no, but he
grounds. Yeah.
For me, that's more of a lateral move. It's not really doesn't turn because for me, like Randle's worth, like to me, we shouldn't trade him unless we're getting something we really don't have, whether it be another complementary piece or two, and then some future assets as far as first round pick and maybe a little kicker or something. Like those are things extra we don't have. just swapping him for another player and nothing else, to me, is just a lateral move. I don't know. It'll just appease some people that, oh, we made a change with Randall. The Randall haters will like it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
And I think the people that love athletes to be from the area for the team that they play for, I think they'll love it. Like New Yorkers that want New York born players, I think they will eventually love the Tobias Harris thing.
Mm-hmm.
After this huge contract is over and we re-sign him to reasonable money. Because Tobias Harris makes ridiculous money right now.
Yeah, it's
and so we wouldn't be able to swap Randall for Tobias Harris. We'd have to include somebody. Like we'd have to do something weird, like Derrick Rose and Julius Randle, or Evan Fournier and Julius Randle for Tobias Harris and Shake Milton. And people would be like, well, why would we ever do that deal? And I agree. Because Randall's a better player than Tobias Harris. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. And Evan Fournier is a better player than Shake Milton. But in order to make the money match, you'd have to consider. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we talked about, or last night and the night before, we spoke about the Julius Randle to the Suns. And today we brought up the Julius Randle to the Sixers. Bro, my belief is Julius Randle has trade value.
Look, man, Julius Randle, what's underrated about Randle is his age.
Yeah.
That's the part that's under. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but if you look, just for an analogy, if you look at the track and field world, okay, the ultimate explosive male athletes in the world you would consider are what? The sprinters, right?
Yeah.
Like as far as like, so a sprinter or men in general reach their athletic peaks, and most men reach their athletic peaks, you know, even the sprinting world and everything, the age is right around 32 years old. Okay. Now some of these young cats are like, well, what do you mean 32? That's an older cat. Nah, man. If you look at the sprinting world, you know, most men have acquired their best time they've ever ran when they start hitting them low 30s. Like that's their athletic prime, and it sways a year or two here or there,
depending on the person, depending on the training,
all that stuff.
But they're about
so right. So now when you look at Randall, I know it's crazy to say, but he is still mid. I feel at the highest point he's at mid prime, and technically I think he's still in his early prime.
I don't think he reached it yet. I
don't think he has either. So I think that, and just look at the landscape of the NBA with nutrition and training, guys are getting a lot more mileage out of their bodies. You know, shout out to TB12. You know, Tom Brady. You know,
the goat,
Benjamin Buttons.
Yeah.
You know, but and, you know, look at LeBron James. I mean, you know, these guys are elite cases. You know, but there are many guys. You know, the Vince Carters of the world, and you know, we were talking about old Tree Rollins. I mean, there's guys in the NBA that have been playing a lot of years for a long time. So, as far as Randall goes, I think that's a big part of his worth. The fact that he still is a relatively young, you know, star, you know, fringe star player.
Yeah, you know what? So my thing with Randall is that I don't want it to be a Zach Randolph type thing. You remember Zach Randolph with the Knicks?
Oh yeah.
Remember, we was like, yo, Zach Randolph, man, Zach Randolph, Zach Randolph, Zach Randolph, Zach Randolph. We complaining about Zach Randolph so much. And then when he left and got into those years that you're talking about, he was a menace with Memphis. You remember the grit and grime era, the whoop that trick era, Memphis?
Whoop that trick. Yeah.
Yeah, yo, that is hilarious, bro. It's hilarious. That bro, it's hilarious that an NBA crowd would chant "whoop that trick" when you go on an 8-0 run. You go on an 8-0 run and your arena is saying "whoop that trick, whoop that trick." But I mean, it is what it is, bro. It's a cute little thing, and it was a cute little thing in Memphis. I think they have the hustle and flow thing, uni that they wear, whatever. But whatever.
I mean, Randolph was a bully, bro.
Yeah, and you got to see him take it to the next level once he got to that 28, 29, 30, 31 age. Him and Mark Gasol together. Him, Mark Gasol, Tony Allen, Rudy Gay. I forget what the other is. And so Gregory Castillo says Mikal Bridges is one of the best defensive small forwards in the league, right? But they are not going to trade Mikal Bridges. In the Julius Randle deal, they are specifically offering Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get Jay Crowder. You're going to get a first-round pick. You're going to get a second-round pick for Julius Randle. They're going to put it in the bag, and they're going to pass you your receipt. And if you're the Knicks, you got to take it. Right? Coach, you don't think the Knicks got to take that deal? I think so.
You
can get a first, and a second. I don't care if that first has protections on it. I don't care because Jay Crowder, I think, has 1 year left on his deal. So you can get rid of 4 years of Julius Randle for 1 year of Jay Crowder. That's enough for me to consider anyway. And then you can get get draft picks too.
What I was saying was. Is that one of the kicker reasons to unload his salary as well?
No. The main deal is so that you can play Obi.
Right.
That's the main reason. And I'm sorry for just cutting straight to the point. But
that to me, that's the only reason to do it.
Right.
Like, I mean, yes, getting the extra picks, nice. Trust me, it's real nice.
Right.
But the only reason to do that is you believe in Obi like that, is ready to go. Because
hey, so Quiet Money said first y'all was saying the Knicks were going to trade Randall for Westbrook. How did that work out? No, that's not first Quiet Money. You ain't never heard me say that. Come on, Quiet Money. You heard me say, because you said y'all, you heard me say the Knicks were going to trade Randall for Westbrook. I never wanted to. Listen, I still don't want to trade Randall. My point is, if he's got to go, get something for him. I'm the one that did the Randall tribute video. Remember that? Like, Uncle Freezy, you taking stuff too far. Yeah, man. I did the Randall tribute video. I did a video and put it on Twitter to Julius Randle. I defended Randall throughout all this stuff. What I'm saying is if you got to trade Randall, then you have to consider those type of deals. You got to get something for him. I'm not about throwing players away, but you have to look at the groundswell from the Knicks fan base. The Knicks fan base there is a majority of them that don't want Randall here. And despite me being in the minority, man, when you see a lot of people, a groundswell, those people can't be wrong. There's got to be something to it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna keep it buck with you.
Hey, it's quiet money. I'm with you. I think the fans may have it wrong. I think the fans may have it wrong, bro, because they soured on Porzingis real quick. They soured on Porzingis real quick. They soured on Melo real quick. They soured on Pat Ewing real quick. And when they trade Randall, the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to recalibrate their target and pick out somebody else who has to go.
Yeah.
And it might be RJ.
And for me, the only reason I'm okay with that deal is because the Mitchell trade's happening. That's the only way I'm okay with that deal. Like I can't sign off on that deal and then just be puppy ball all year. I just can't do it.
Right.
I just
say that term one more time.
Puppy ball.
Oh wow. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I never heard it put that way before. I think that's neat. I got you.
But the part in that deal that's kind of untalked about really is I think Shamet is a intriguing throw-in because would you rather have him than someone like Grimes right now? Do you think he's better than Quentin Grimes?
I think he's a better shooter than Grimes. I don't think he's a better defender than Grimes.
Right. I just like he just turned 23, so he's pretty young. So he would go along with that youth, and he's not going to threaten to start or anything. But he's a solid bench player. He's like one of them guys that's good to have on the team, you know. So, like I said, I could sign off on that if I knew it was going to bolster the likelihood of getting Mitchell, you know, and us not hurt as much.
Right.
And I don't get it twisted. I'm not like, ooh, Shamet, you know, makes it intriguing. That's why I think we should do it. Don't get. Let's face it, the getting rid of the uncomfortableness, like you were talking about, with Randall perceived wearing out his welcome, and the roster and the money, you know, clearing up the money, and the amount of years we still got left on the deal. That part's great, and then getting the pick is the main part. That's the best part of it. But was that story yesterday?
This story is so Almighty Finesse asked me about it. This
story
is from Friday,
okay.
Yeah, and it's from the Arizona Republic, right? Whatever that thing is. I think that's a newspaper. But I'm gonna take this down so people can see our handsome faces.
Yeah,
but yeah. That's from the Arizona Republic, right? But the thing is,
I'm just excited, man, of the idea of, like I said, like, and I still want to stand by my, you heard it here first. And I know it wasn't last night. Other people have said it earlier too, but including myself. I really want to see what RJ and Randall look like with competent point guard play. I'm excited to see what that looks like because I haven't seen it yet.
And consistent point guard play also.
Yes.
Because at times last year, you could see the offense kind of start to get into a groove, and then somebody will get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh. So that's what the tease is. The tease has been these last years that we're so close, but every time you get close, it's like something happens.
Yeah, and then all these people, and I'm not want to call them dummies, but these people that look at the situation they were in the last 2 years with these blinders on, the notion that they just keep saying, oh, they can't play well together, they're not a good fit together, RJ and Randall. They don't understand the negative part that everyone bothers them is, like I said last night, for anyone that wasn't on the panel last night, they were doing the job that they were paid to do, and they're having to take on the responsibility of the point guards they didn't have, being facilitators, being the ball dominant person. That it's not that they personally in their head feel the need that they have to be the facilitator of the team. Like the notion that these people have, like they know what these players are thinking just because they watched some games and saw them ISO and hold the ball too much, or so they think that's the player they are. Sometimes it's the situation they're put in. Right. I mean, it's to me, it baffles my mind when anyone says that this is what this is what Randall and RJ are. Like they don't move enough. They don't. Who's bringing up the court for them?
Any NBA player, right, coach, or any pro athlete. Just because they have one season that looks one way doesn't mean that all the proceeding seasons will look the same way.
Right
now, because if you remember the running back Chris Warren from the Seattle Seahawks. Mm-hmm. You remember? So he had a stretch of 1,000-yard seasons with Seattle for a long time, right? And he got to Dallas towards the end of his career as Emmitt Smith's backup. And you found out that Chris Warren could actually catch a football.
Right.
But they never threw it to him in Seattle. Right? They had guys like Joey Galloway, and then plus their quarterback sucked. Remember Rick Maurer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, Notre Dame. Dude couldn't. Oh, my God. He's this generation's Jared Goff. Yep. or Jared Goff is this generation's Rick Maurer.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, man.
Look at someone like Cordero Patterson. He's a perfect example too.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out, he was a receiver coming in, a kick returner.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out, man, this guy's he's got a lot of skills. We got to get the ball in his hand.
He's big.
Yeah. I'm like, all of a sudden one season he started getting some carries, and now he's a running back.
Now he's running back. Yeah.
And a pretty good one. I mean,
the same thing happened to the kid from Green Bay, the dude that used to wear number 88, the running back.
Yeah.
The kid from the dude from Stanford, I forget his name.
Yeah. I know exactly what I'm on.
But just real quick, so Almighty Finesse, the Arizona Republic is a reputable newspaper. Bro. Yeah, the Arizona Republic has been in business since 1890. They've been in business for 132 years, man. They are one of the most reputable news outlets in the country. And so
Finesse is like, what is that? Like they sell clothes to wear in the desert? Like the Banana Republic?
Yeah, man. Oh, he says Ty Montgomery. That's his name.
Yep.
Yeah. So just because you had one season looking one way doesn't mean you can have that means the future doesn't lend itself to you changing or morphing. Now I understand what Knicks fans are saying. Well, Randall has had 2 of those seasons in New York.
Yeah.
Right? What I'm gonna say to y'all is this, because it's this weird narrative out here. People are like, well, Randall was an all-star during the bubble season. Listen, it wasn't the Knicks bubble season. It was the NBA's bubble season.
Mm-hmm.
And if you count anybody else's successes during that bubble season, then Randall stuff counts. Don't talk to me about Phoenix being 8-0 in the bubble and then say Julius Randle's season didn't count. Or during the 2-year COVID thingy, right? Don't talk to me about empty gems and Phoenix making the NBA Finals and blah 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 when Randall was the MVP. Don't tell me about Devin Booker finally getting to the NBA Finals and then discount Julius Randle. Nah, don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and whether people like it or not, whether it didn't come across with a good attitude or his efficiency wasn't as good as we're used to, he still produced.
Right.
Him and RJ were still the catalyst and the main reason. If they didn't do what they did last year, putting the whole thing on their backs, we would have had a 20-win season with this team. Think about it. They're the reason why we had 37 wins, and we should have had more.
Right.
Like people, we don't talk about that. They think 37 it was so bad, which it was, but
we have
it could have been worse.
Yeah, we got to use some perspective.
How many teams with literally little to no point guard play? Like you can go down the whole East, the whole NBA. What team made the playoffs that didn't have a good point guard that we wouldn't mind starting on our team?
Right. And I'm gonna read the super chat real quick, and I just want to get back to it. So Cameron Von Sleep, thank you for the generous contribution. Cameron Von Sleep says, "Spot on, Coach. Randall is productive consistently." Right. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
All right.
So the more I talk about this kind of stuff, I talk myself out of wanting Randall to go, man. Because to me, I don't see at the value we have him at right now, I don't see a worthy replacement that brings what he brings for that value.
I don't want to see him go, but at the same time, man, there is a groundswell of people that want Randall out of here, and we can't ignore them either.
There's a groundswell of people that were big fans of Frank Ntilikina too.
the Church of Frank, yeah. I sneezed one time and somebody said Ntilikina. And you're like, what? Come on.
Ntilikina, bless you.
Yeah.
No, hey man. When you're from a city that's got millions upon millions of people, and then their families retire and migrate to all other parts of the country, especially like Florida, the Carolinas, all that stuff. When you have this many people following the team, you're gonna have some loony birds.
Yeah.
So just like America as a whole, there's a lot of great people in this country, but there's a lot of dummies.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'm just say this to the I understand what people are saying about the Julius Randle maybe being a negative in the locker room, right? Like you just can't look at stats. Sometimes you got to look at other stuff, like what he brings in the locker room. Like is he a cancer, so to speak? And I hate saying that word, man, because my little sister has cancer, and cancer is a serious thing, right? Shout out to my little sister if she watches. She probably not. She probably watches something more important like MSNBC right now, right. But what I would say though, man, is this: Randall being a negative in the locker room is, I think it's you. I don't know if we know enough about the situation.
Right. Have we heard this from him before last year?
I don't know. I don't know. I tell you what I did hear. I did hear from multiple, and when I say this, y'all, listen, take this into account. I'm going to say multiple unreliable sources. And when I call them unreliable, I don't mean that they're loony bones or crackpots. What I'm saying is, I don't know if they have direct knowledge. Like, I don't know if they sat in the locker room. So I'm going to say they're a source that I can't depend on. But multiple people from different factions says last year, Randall wasn't the locker room thing that people thought. It was Kemba Walker. Mm-hmm. And the Knicks knew that. That's why they got him out of here. He was the first thing smoking. That's why he was on the first thing smoking. And they kept Randall. And somebody also said that the media was on Randall so bad that he didn't dress with the team. Sometimes they were on him so bad that he was just trying to get away from everybody. Like he couldn't function because the media and the fans were on him so bad. Like he just couldn't take it. He just not built for it. And what I say to that, man, is, so what? Julius Randle, this is what you signed up for. You wanted to, so if you can't take it, that's a you problem. I'm rooting for you and I want you to succeed. But when you embrace the thing, King of New York, do you know what comes with all of that? Bro, do you know? Like say, for instance, people that live on Long Island, Jersey City, and Connecticut, all around everywhere, right? All around the city. And notice I said all around the city and not in the city. Now follow me. Mm-hmm. All around the city, people consider them New Yorkers, right? Right? But being in the city is something else. Like when you're on Long Island, there are certain areas on the island that Long Island City, all of that stuff. Trust, that's not Manhattan. When you're from Omaha, Nebraska, and you see Long Island City and all that stuff, you think that's in the city, right? Mm-hmm. But the city, being in the city, can be stressful as hell. We always on YouTube. Never fit. I'm always on, bro. I need to be working. I need to be doing some stuff, but here I am. RAW.
Yes, sir. But you know what, man? a lot of people, and I don't want to keep wearing this. If you've ever played a sport at a high level and all that stuff, I don't want to pull that card all the time, but athletes get frustrated, man. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're passionate about something enough and you want something so bad,
right?
Some guys are built to have a poker face about it, and some guys aren't. It doesn't mean he's a cancer. I'm sorry for the term, but it doesn't mean he's a bad locker room guy. To me, it shows he's got emotion and he cares. I mean, he's passionate about this. You know what I'm saying? And unless he's visibly calling out his teammates in the media, or you see in games he's pointing at somebody and getting in his, I don't want to be blasphemous and mention him in the same sentence as Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan was the nicest teammate in the world.
No, he wasn't. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant wasn't the nicest teammate in the world. You know what I'm saying? So all that mess, I can't stand people that have that narrative. to me, his upbringing, he's a Texas guy, right? He came up through Texas.
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah.
I mean, them guys that come up from them football states, I mean, they're used to tough, hard-nosed coaches, and you know, they're just used to that footballish vibe, you know, when it comes to coaching. And I think with some things he'll have thick skin, but maybe it's just that last season it came to a head for him. He's like, man, I finally thought I might have gotten a point guard, and then that stuff happens, and now me and RJ were stuck again, having to take on this facilitator, ball handler role. I can't do the other things in my game I want to do, man. This sucks. Now I got all these fans on me. You know, after a while, it snowballs. And I'm not saying, oh, poor Randall. I mean, that's what you're getting paid for. You know, do your job. You know, I get that part, but he's human. You know.
Yeah. Hey, and I just wanted to point this thing out to Bodega too, because he points out a thing. Only Obi fans assume Knicks fans are trading Randall. Not one viable source has indicated Randall being traded. The original Randall rumor stated that the Knicks could trade Randall. And what I did intentionally, and to Bodega's point, what I did intentionally is not grab a New York article talking about Randall. I grabbed articles outside of New York that shows that Randall does have value. I showed you the Arizona Republic article from Arizona saying what Phoenix may consider giving up for Randall, and I showed a Philly article, right? Nothing from New York. And I did that intentionally to let y'all know that Randall has value around the league that's not drummed up or diminished by New York newspapers.
And the kicker to that also, look at the teams that the three teams that are kind of talked about with him: Phoenix, Lakers, Sixers. What three of those teams are they in the mix of trying to do? They try to win a championship, right?
Right.
So if those teams value Julius Randle enough to be a piece or a final piece to get them over the hump to win a championship, that just means he could be that piece for us. I mean, I'm not saying the championship next year, but he's young enough and could be good enough that he could be one of our pieces, man, towards the championship. And to let that go for an OB maybe, I'm gonna start calling him maybe instead of OB, because he's still a maybe to me. Randall's a sure thing. I'm getting tired of this maybe stuff, bro. We got 10 maybes on our team. Maybe rhymes with baby. I mean,
yeah.
I just.
So, Coach, we've been talking about Randall for about an hour, and listen,
You've been on this long?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, time flies on this channel.
Telling you, bro.
Time flies on this channel. So it's been 58 minutes and actually, the Randall topic has been up about 55 minutes. That's still a long time. But anyway, how comfortable are you? And chat, this is a question for you too. How comfortable are you with these kids developing into stars?
Right now, the only two players to me that give me a few potential star vibe, and the OB fans are gonna be mad at me for not including him, is IQ and Cam Reddish. To me, the ceiling for both of them is pretty high. Until or unless Obi goes in the lab and either one of the two things, I've said this before about Obi, he's got to become a very, very good outside shooter. Talking like a high 30s% 3-point shooter and like, a 45%, mid-range guy. Or he's got to lock down on D and be a better rebounder. It'd be beautiful if he could get both going, but he's got to do one of those two, like at a very high level, for me to believe in him. And Grimes, I'm just not as high on him as a lot of people are. This dude. Now I like his physicality, but I like the things he brings physically. To me, it's still too early to anoint Grimes into anything yet. Like, if he stays around, I'd like to see him get more minutes and see what he can do before I claim he's this defensive stopper and it could be a 3-and-D guy and all this stuff.
Right.
But as far as for me, from what they've showed me with extensive minutes, the potential to really be a star is IQ and Cam for me.
Okay. Wow. All right. So I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was unexpected. I didn't expect you to go in. I didn't expect you to go there. I kind of expected something else.
Okay.
I expected you to say R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, I thought you meant of the possible trade bait young guys.
No. I'm talking about everybody.
Oh, to me.
And you don't have to change for me. I'm just saying that what you said, it kind of caught me.
Well, I thought you were referring to. I just had assumed you already knew or felt that. And anyone that's new here today, I guess you haven't heard me say. I'm already under the assumption with the way I've talked about him. RJ is going to be a star. I'm willing to put money on it, bro. And Mitchell Robinson, he's this is his year, man. To really, if he stays on the court, he's going to go to that next level too. Like, those two guys are the two obvious choices to the next level of their ascension. So when you were referring to the young guy, I thought you meant the ones that were the potential trade bait young guys, if we stay with their production or not.
So you're not high on Grimes?
If we were to do a ranker as far as who I want to invest my time and priorities, he's fifth on my priority list. Like, as far as it's RJ, Mitch, IQ, Cam, Grimes, and then Obi for me.
Wow.
I know. Obi fans gonna hate me, but I just Obi he's fun to watch. I love seeing him on the break. I love seeing him go ham and dunk on people. That's all fun, but that don't win you games.
Right. Yo, shout out to my main man, Hard Will, who sent the swag. Hard Will, my mom loved the swag, bro. My mom was like, yo, what is that? And I'm like, yo, Mom, mind your business. This is something I got from Hard Will. She's like, no, those look nice. Those look nice. It's like, no, man, they don't look nice. Because you know how your people be like, yo, that look nice. That mean they trying to get their hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Coach, you ever had that? Your sons be like, Pops, that shirt look good, man. It look good, man. That shirt is nice. And the next thing you know, they trying to borrow it for a very long time. They like borrow your shirt for like 4 years.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Well, if they borrow my shirt, it's gonna be like a nightgown.
Nah, man, get out of here, man. Coach messing around. Yeah. Hey, yo, and for those that don't know, Coach is former collegiate running back, standout in college, professional running back. Was coached up by one of the Grudens. We don't want to say which. I just wanted to throw that out there for those that just saw your face pop up on the screen out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Coach for that. But
thank you.
But Hard Will, yeah, man, Hard Will, look at swag. Hop up out the bed, throw my swag on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I like this material, Hard Will. This is fire. Yeah, man. But yeah, Coach, oh snap. Hey, hey, Coach, I got a thing going on. I'm gonna be back in like 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah. So just to give y'all, a little heads up, let's put the thumbs up in chat while we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, smash that like button, hit your notification. We're Freezy, the Blorange Tears, the news network is in full effect. This man's on here like CNN, 24 hours. I always joked around with him saying that he should get James Earl Jones on here this is the Blorange Tears network, something like that. But hey, Wiz, what's going on, my friend?
This is the Blorange Tears network.
Yeah, there you go. That's who we should have do it. We have Wiz do it.
How you doing, Coach?
Hey, pretty good, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I had to jump
hold on real quick. Bodega, if you get a chance, or somebody put that link in the chat for me for Hardwill. Go ahead, Wiz.
Yeah, actually, I had to jump in when I heard your ranking of potential stars. Actually, you're not far off, man. Actually, because
the Obi Grimes is kind of a tie for me. It's
right. Actually, my feeling is I'm gonna rank him and then give him my percentage as likelihood. So I'm gonna start with 80%, my potential 80% potential stars, and everyone below drops 10 percentage points. So the first one for me is actually I'm gonna flip yours. I'm gonna put Cam. Oh, what's up? First, let me salute Hardwill. Welcome, Hardwill. Be glad to hear your voice up in this.
What's good, yo?
What up, Hardwill? What up?
The man with a resume, so I can't.
That's it, man.
You got a resume. So I'm gonna put 80% potential stardom for me is Cam first as number one.
Right.
Hey,
I'm happy with that.
70% potential. I'm gonna flip it for IQ with you. I put the IQ number 2 with 70% star potential. 60% for me is Obi at number 3. At 50-50. And again, we're not putting RJ in there, right? We're not putting RJ in the youth. I mean, if there was RJ in there, I'll put RJ at the number 1 spot, but without RJ.
Right.
So now 50-50 for me, believe it or not, I'm looking at the 2 cats. I'm looking at Sims and Deuce. I don't know why. Something about them just is a 50-50 chance that they can pop. I just don't know what it is about them, but something about them that gives me that feeling. And then after that, believe it or not, I actually have them above Grimes as potential stars. I think Grimes is going to be solid, but those are the 4 that I think something says there is there's some diamonds in those pieces of coal, man. But again, Cam 80% chance, IQ number 2 at 670, Obi at number 3 at 6% chance, and then the other two cats 50-50 is my ranking of potential. And so, I mean, I don't know if any of them will ever manifest because that 20% is so easy to be there because there's so many cats out there who are, got skills. But if I'm going to put my feeling, my opinion, my thoughts based on what I'm seeing and I've seen, those are where I'm going to put it right now. What's up, Frizz? What's up? Frizz, what's up?
Now, I agree that those are all your opinions, and I agree with a lot of what you were saying. And just to put into context to people, the word star, it's a morphing word. For some people, star means superstar. Some people, star. Like, to me, a star is a player that, number one, could start for every team in the league and is at least a top 10 player at their position in the league. Like that to me is what a star is. Like someone that could be you can plug in and they could be a big piece on every team in the NBA as a starter. And you're top 10 in your position. Like, to me, that's what I define a star in this league. Now, then there's the next, then there's superstar, where it's, our future Hall of Famers and people like that, So that to me, that's just what my definition of a star is. Because I noticed a couple people were asking, like, "Oh, what does star mean?" Blah blah blah. So,
all right, yeah, that's tight. Yeah, that's what I would. I'm actually going to put another level of not just superstar, but of course, transformative, type player. So, like, I'm going to put, Ja up there at beyond superstar level. But yes, I think that's my ranking. And the star, again, is not necessarily going to even make an all-star team necessarily because they're going to be superstars ahead of them, and the transformative players ahead of them that's going to be better. So they may not even make an all-star team, but still be a star. So I think Ingram is a potential star right now to be considered a star because everyone will take Ingram right now. But Ingram could play his whole career and be behind, 3 or 4 guys in the league. I mean, in his conference, and not make the all-star team. But he's still got everything you need for a baller to come in on your team and be a scorer and represent and produce. But Ingram could spend his whole career and not necessarily make an all-star team. It's potential because there's sometimes 3 or 4 cats that's better than him or outperforming him that year that makes him miss the all-star game. So that's where all-star qualification is sometimes misses who some stars out there. I think it's potential. Hey,
but let me do something real quick, man.
Yes, sir.
So I need y'all to do me a huge favor, man. I gotta jump off for a few minutes because I just found out that a family member just passed away. Oh, but I don't want to.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
I don't want to kill a live stream. What I was gonna do is ask y'all just to go ahead and rock. Just let me do some things real quick, man. Let me get off this camera because I can't. This is my man. This thing done broke my heart, man. Hey,
sorry for your loss, Reezy.
Do what you gotta do,
man. This thing.
We got you, bro.
All right.
We got this. All right. But go ahead, Harwell. You just coming in, brother. Go ahead, take the mic, man.
I mean, I was listening to what y'all said, and only thing I feel about like some of the players y'all mentioned, like he said, Brandon Ingram, like when the Lakers traded all 8 players, they went to a team that they were going to be able to just play on. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what we say about Grimes and Obi. Right. So people got to understand that that's part of the development. That's why Ingram and Caruso and all them players that was on the Lakers, they made more steps. But if they go to a team where it's like where they really not playing that, then you don't know what they become. So that's what I came up listening to y'all. You know, I wasn't really giving a take on what's a superstar and what's a star. Both of y'all basically hit it. Everybody got their own perspective on what it really is. You know what I mean? Right. But it's like players really gotta just average good numbers, like you said, start. And like RJ, for example, he got to just keep improving. And if he got snubbed last season on lists that we felt like he should have been on this year, he should be able to make that jump. You know, we all know what improvement is. And if we don't watch every game, you could just look at the numbers and see what they doing. And I'm starting to look at it like, if I like a player and he don't keep going in the right direction of what I projected him to be, then maybe he's not going to be that, or maybe he just went like declined for one season. Because when you look at numbers, especially players that you look at early in their career, they go up and they may go down a little and then go back up. So it's part of developing, and you know, you just got to try to give a fair assessment on a player when they still young. That's all.
Awesome. So and I was gonna ask, which of the guys you see right now on the Knicks what are the likelihood of the end of the youth becoming a star? Which of them that you see the likelihood, the potential of being a star? Of course, I think RJ, we all kind of.
I mean, besides RJ, I can't see nobody else being a star. Okay. Because you can't just throw around the word star. Right. Because a star could lead to a superstar. Now, will they become a superstar? It depends on, you know, the ball bounces, what team they on, you know, when they're in the playoffs, if they're going to advance around instead of getting beat. You know what I mean? Because Brooklyn got swept to Boston, and now you got people saying Tatum is on his way to being a superstar. Right. You know what I mean? I don't think he's there yet. Do you guys? Just for example, is Tatum a superstar yet?
Not in my book.
Nah, he's an ascending star for me. You know, he's a star.
He's close though. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He's close. He's just like Luka Doncic. Is Luka Doncic a superstar? I'm just giving these questions because when I said Tatum, Luka came to mind because they kind of both are doing the same thing. So I just wanted to ask, like, because we talking superstars, that's a good example on people on their way to being superstars. Not to change it from Nick topic, but when I think of the question y'all asked me, first thing came to mind is no Nick besides RJ because of the situation that they're in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so I think Luka's already a superstar, personally. Like, to me, the way he came in the league with the expectations he had, and he's kind of lit. Like, not many people have a certain amount of hype and then actually live up to and somewhat exceed it. You know?
Right.
So for him, and the thing that's crazy is there's little holes in his game, and he's still, you know, doing these other things at such a high level that, you know, and to be doing it in the playoffs. And when you're on lists that include LeBron and Michael Jordan and Kobe, and when you're on lists like that, I mean,
when you're in the MVP voting, it's tough to not say MVP voting with this quality of players out there. It's tough not to put him in the star category.
And I'm sorry, like we've gone through this before, like because of Jalen Brunson coming over here. I've done the whole compare the roster and the starting lineups of the Mavs and the Knicks before. And that just shows how good he is, because there's a drop off.
Yeah.
After Brunson and Luka. I mean, think about that. You know, that team, they went far with like them two and a lot of role players.
That's a good call, man.
You know what I'm saying? So that just shows how much he's. That's why I personally am so high on our potential as a team, because to me, I must say Mitchell is Luka's level of superstar yet, but he's got things that he can do for us that Luka does, like to have a player on our team that could be that explosive of a scorer and get 50-point games, like for the Knicks, the Carmelos in the world, the Ewings of the world, and the Bernard Kings. Like when you have players that can do that, that's just there. There's a couple players here and again that surprise you with that total, once or twice. But guys that legitimately can do it any night, like when you have someone like that and Mitchell, like he could be our Luka, quote unquote. So then you look at, we got Brunson. Okay, that's who they had and Dallas had over there. And really, man for man after that, we're a better, I know it's crazy to say out loud, but we are a better team. I mean, obviously Luka gets the notch over Mitchell, if you're doing the comparison thing. But then after that, the rest of the comparisons, we're better, man for man. It sounds great. That's why, for me.
What you talking about? What you talking about, Dallas team?
Yeah.
How? Dallas just went to the finals. That don't make
I
any
know.
sense.
But
that's your Knicks fan.
No,
thinking,
I'm
bro.
saying no. But did you hear what I just said? I said man for man in the starting lineup. Think about their start. Dwight Powell.
Are you saying with Mitchell? You said
yes, with Mitchell.
But Mitchell not on our team yet, Coach. We gotta speak realistic. I'm not saying you don't. I'm talking about in reference to the point we trying to make right now. I say compare the team without Donovan, and you still think we better than Dallas?
Oh, hell no.
No.
So you said with Donovan Mitchell, it makes us better because we bringing him on and we got more talent now because of that. Plus we got Brunson. Okay, I can see what you're
saying.
Right,
yeah. Like we're taking Brunson from them. So if you look at Brunson on both teams, and then if Mitchell and Luka are even if you give them the Luka is better than Mitchell argument,
Yeah.
The rest of the guys, the small forward, the power forward, the center, I take our guys.
Even bench.
The bench too.
Yep, we're deeper.
So that's to me, when you look at the possibility of what getting someone like Mitchell does for this team, like we can go from a crazy expectation level with him to like, well, we're gonna have a developmental year. We're barely gonna make the play-in. That's a big difference. That. So what that's worth to people in chat, I don't know, man.
All right. This more from being is Luka superstar, and again the point is valid that he took basically a mediocre team plus Brunson to the conference finals. I mean that's ridiculous. So yeah, I mean I was trying to hold off giving Luka props as a superstar because I love a resume. I love to have you give me 5-6 years of performance. I think the cats who could explode for a couple years and then fall off, especially when NBA catches up to them, because if you can start to really watch a guy's game, I'm thinking at some point you can neutralize some of his strong points. Since Luka has weak spots, if you can shut down some of his strong points, you could beat him eventually and bring him back to stardom and not superstar level. But I think Luka is a superstar. I gotta give it to him. He's a superstar because he has done enough sustained level of excellence at the place and points he has. But again, because of all the holes he has in this game, I'm going from defense. I'm going a little bit of a ball dominance that can impact negatively his teammates, not necessarily make them better, although his team succeeded. I still think, I gotta give it to him. Luka is a superstar, and I can't deny that. But I think you're right. Team-wise, we're deeper. Overall performance level, minus Luka, Brunson, and anybody in that spot next to Luka, the Luka spot, is making us overall a better team than Dallas was. And they made it to the conference final, so it means, we have potential to make some, great moves.
Even though we got Brunson, I can understand that, but they got other players, like they got Dinwiddie, and I think Luka wasn't even there for a while. He got injured. So I think Brunson deserves a lot of credit for that. But not all the credit. Other players on the team as well that we not mentioning got them to where they got them to. And that's what our team need to do. Guys need to just play in a role and be the best version of themselves. And that's the problem that the Knicks have. Us as Knicks fans have a problem too, at quick to say we better than somebody, but the record don't never really show it. Some of us go on when we played that team, which I can understand, we play good against certain teams. We could have beat Brooklyn. We beat Dallas. You know, sometimes we show up just to prove a point against certain teams. But to me, we should be doing that every night. And when guys play their role more, then you're more consistent with what you're doing on the basketball note. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason what made me think about that is because Luka Doncic don't really make nobody else better. And I think in order to be a superstar, that's one of the boxes you got to check. And if you are excelling other ways and you winning, then I guess you are making people better, but we just don't really see it. Maybe I think he should pass the ball more, but I'm not the person coaching them. And if they still get the win, that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So I'm looking from the outside in, and I feel like it's just certain things you got to bring to the game to become a superstar before you win a ring. My next question was going to be as well, is Damian Lillard a superstar?
Nice. Okay, because I was going to throw my question out there similar to that, but I was going to use historical comparison, not necessarily opinion-based right now. But who want to take that? You want to take it, Coach? Because Damian, man, I'm on the fence with that superstar title.
I mean, man, I hate to put it on him, but if Portland had more success in the playoffs, because he had, I mean, with him and CJ, like the him and CJ combo, it's better than the Brunson Doncic combo. Like as far as, I don't want to use the word better, but I guess who you worry about, you know, game plan for.
Oh man, is Dame a superstar?
What you think, Freezy?
Yes. That's easy.
It's easy, right?
I didn't even question
it. What you think, Sarge?
Man, I mean, I've given it to him, but I'm trying to find why not to. It's funny because with Luka, I'm trying to find why I should, because I've seen the holes. With Dame, I'm trying to find why I can say no, and I just can't find a reason not to say. I can't find a way to say no, so I'm giving it to him. The tough part was I'm looking back in history, and I just thought about the first Dream Team, and I'm like, of course, Magic, Isaiah, Stockton, and I'm like, there are a couple of other point guards that were stars back then that just got no cred, and that's where I'm looking back and going, were those superstars? They were all three superstars. Stockton, Isaiah, and Magic were superstars, and I just try to recall who else were you looking at point guard wise to go to Dream Team, and the tough part is.
I think the criteria. Let me offer a criteria.
I like this topic because I think it's so opinionated. My bad, Freeze.
Man, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I'm crazy hurt right now, but whatever.
I could tell, bro.
But let me offer this to y'all to clear up some stuff, right? The NBA has an all-star team, right? That means those people on that team are stars. Because they don't call it all very good or all of them. They call it the all-star team. So at a minimum, those players on that team, however big the roster is, what is it, 12, 15? 12 players. 12 players from each conference, right?
Right.
Whatever that means, there's 24 stars in the league, right? And then those that didn't make that all-star team, if they made the all-star team 2 or 3 times, you got to consider them stars too, right? Right. Now, when you look at that all-star team and the all-star caliber players in this league, is there a top 5 out of that group? Or is everybody just as good as the next person? Is Chris Middleton just as good as LeBron? Right. Is Chris Middleton an all-star just as good as Kevin Durant? No. Right? So then there's an upper echelon of those stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have to take that group and call them superstars. Because they're stars, but they're better. They rise to a higher level.
Yeah,
than those stars. So those are superstars, right? And so if you're a star, you're in the conversation, but it doesn't make you a superstar.
Okay.
Right. And this is my thinking. This has always been my thinking. Like, I don't want to just call somebody a superstar because they can dunk real fancy. I want to call somebody a superstar because they've accomplished stuff, right? And so of the group in the NBA right now, we'll ask, is Damian Lillard a superstar? And then I think to myself, well, Darius Garland is a star. Is Damian Lillard historically better than Darius Garland? Yes. That makes Damian Lillard a superstar. So I'm establishing a mindset and a criteria. I don't want to just go off random stuff off the internet, like, oh, he scored 65 in the game again. No, I don't want to go off of, oh, did you see him in the dunk contest? No, we're not just grabbing random stuff. Yeah. We're gonna go to the NBA and fans pick out who the stars of the league is every February, right? Those are stars. And then in your opinion, are there guys in that all-star conversation better than the rest of the group? Like, who is better, Giannis or Chris Middleton? Of course it's Giannis. And of course Giannis is better than most of those that are listed. So then you would say Giannis is a superstar. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, is Ja Morant a superstar? No. Ja Morant is a star because in the grand scheme of things, he has not accomplished the same things that Damian Lillard accomplished. Do we think confidently that he can become a superstar in time? Yes, with multiple all-star appearances and multiple things that go with him elevating his game. But at this moment, he's a star. Same thing with Zion. Is Zion a superstar? No, Zion's a star, right? He is not accomplished like Giannis. Once Zion accomplishes stuff like, because there is a fine line between being popular and being a star, right? Zion is popular, right? He's a popular star.
A rising star.
Yeah.
Right?
Does that make him a superstar? No.
I think that's the proper thing to call him. And I think even the NBA uses that, for example, like rising star, right? Or star like Freezy just gave you. That was dope. From star to superstar, a higher level up is the superstar. And that person that's a star, either a rising star, can easily become a superstar if he's younger. And, like we mentioned the Tatums and different guys that's, on the verge of showing us that right in real time. You know what I'm saying? When you knock off KD and go to the finals, he's like right there where you got to start considering Tatum, or what he do next season is going to determine if he's a superstar or not coming up. Some of the things he's starting to accomplish. Another thing I wanted to say, Freeze, I wanted to ask y'all, is it because it's more talent now in the league that it's harder? Or some guys, like you see Coach and Sarge, they didn't want to say yeah or no against somebody, you know what I'm saying, like a Lillard. And because he really didn't, he kind of did what you said, scored a lot of points, even though we seen him show up and show out. But he didn't really.
He's not very efficient either. If we're going to hold him to the same standards that the Knicks fans want to hold RJ to, he's a career, and this is after 10 years of playing. He's a career 43% field goal percentage guy.
So my question is, is it just a lot more talent? And then Kyrie Irving didn't even get in the top 75, and Lillard did. So I just think it's so opinionated. But I don't want to ask too much. Yeah. Is it just so much talent now that is what is it, like, watered down? Or
yeah, well, to me, a superstar can cook and be a superstar in any environment they're in, on any team they're on.
Right.
They're going to elevate everyone around them, and they're still going to do the things that we know that they can do in any environment on any team. Not like if someone's got to be in a certain situation in order for them to be who they are, then they're not a superstar. Then they're maybe just a star. Like there's some guys like that's why Randall is only a star per se, because he's got to be in the right situation to really show how good he is. And that's just maybe he's 30, more than that. But of now, the Randall that we know now, he's only a star because he has to have the right situation to be a star.
Right.
So
right. Mm-hmm. Would you say the same thing about Bradley Beal?
Yeah, like Bradley Beal to me is a star.
Right. Right. Would Bradley Beal be a star if he played next to a point guard?
Well, he played with Wall for a little bit.
Yeah, and look at his numbers next to John Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were not. Bradley Beal was not. When Bradley Beal became ball dominant, that's when you saw Bradley Beal take that next step away from John Wall. And mind you, John Wall was on the team, on the roster for 2 seasons with Bradley Beal, but didn't play due to leg injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So even though man, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I know what I want to say, man. I'm just all over the place.
Even though Bradley Beal's numbers, it looks like he's superstar status is very comparable.
John Wall's on the roster.
He needs the ball in his hand. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. And if the ball in your hand argument goes to you becoming a star, then I think you can't eliminate other guys from the argument too, like Julius Randle. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
He had the ball in his hand, though.
No. I agree with you. And I agree with you on that.
But one shot don't really determine it, though. If you ask me, you get one shot at it. I mean, a coach may not give you another shot like that, but I don't think if you get one try, it determines. But I already think we just knew really what Randall is when it comes to that kind of situation. Like as far as playing with the ball, or even if he got the ball, if he got better players on his team as a coach, you wouldn't really do that. And that was the mistake I think we made, sacrificing more development, I should say, because I gotta be careful when I say that. Sacrificing more development for these younger guys and for Randall to do mad ISO was a risk, but it was for a reason, because he did it the season before.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to look at
a great season the season before when they made the 4th seed, so
and you want to look at Bradley Beal, like and this is, I'm always going to boost the RJ Barrett potential future and compare him to other stars in the league. Okay, Bradley Beal, his first 3 years in the league, he shot 41%, 41%, 42% from the field. Okay, in 3 years, and he was young like RJ when he came in. His 4th year in the league, he was 22. All of a sudden, he went up to 45%, and then So I think we're on the cusp of something like that for Mr. Barrett.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we and I appreciate that because we talked about that last summer about because I have a database that people are so tired of looking at. I have it on a spreadsheet, like all those dudes that we mentioned. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I have the comps all the way through, like from the first season through RJ Barrett's, whatever he's at, I update it, right? And so people are tired of me comparing RJ to Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, because the early years, you really can't distinguish one from the other. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. But anyway, what I was gonna say is just because you score a lot doesn't mean that you're a star. Being a scoring machine doesn't make you a star. But like for instance, if you ask me who would I rather have long term, RJ Barrett or Devin Booker, I say RJ Barrett. Because I feel like you can go get a bucket from anywhere. But you can't go find a guy that's going to be a team player, understands team basketball, share the ball. So and RJ Barrett doesn't share as much as he. And let me backtrack a little bit. In the team concept, I think RJ Barrett is a better overall, has the potential to be a better overall team player than Devin Booker.
Oh, okay.
My knock on RJ Barrett, and if I ever see him face to face, the first words out of my mouth is RJ Barrett, pass the damn ball. Pass it. You don't have to be totally pass first, but you can be unselfish. RJ Barrett hogs the ball. It's the reason why you saw people think Obi Toppin needed time to break out at the end of the season. They were like, look, you gave Obi all the minutes in it. No. When you took out the ball, when you took out Randall and you took out RJ, and those young Knicks were allowed to play team basketball, passing the ball, you saw quickly an Obi Toppin breakout, right? But when you put ball stoppers in the game, RJ Barrett is one of them. For a shooting guard, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is the stat that I've been using, and I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. In order for RJ Barrett to be a star, he has to increase his assist percentage, right? And here Bradley Beal's career assist percentage is 20.2. That's low for a star, right? Devin Booker, the scoring machine, his assist percentage is 23.3, right? Who's a better scorer right now, Devin Booker or RJ Barrett? Devin Booker, right?
Yep.
And his assist percentage is 23.3. RJ Barrett is not that scoring machine. And guess what his assist percentage is? 14.8.
I think there's a lot of dynamics involved.
Yeah, the dynamic is the dude don't want because it can't be the roster. Because right now, if I asked y'all who was on the Phoenix Suns roster before Chris Paul, you would say y'all gonna say names like, first of all, once you get past Elfrid Payton, I challenge anybody else to name another Phoenix Sun instead DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. Who else was on that Phoenix Suns team?
You asking me? Because I know.
Just in general, people are gonna say names like Cameron Payne and things like that, right? But so what I'm saying is RJ Barrett, the roster, the roster makeup, man. Listen, I'm just speaking now. I'm speaking to the coaches out there. Coaches emphasize this one thing, bro. Play team basketball.
But you just named players that do that. I think you named a bunch of players that play team ball, and that coach got them doing that.
Right.
Chris Paul is on the floor, so that's a floor general.
Right.
So that's what really changed the dynamic. You just said that too, but that's the real thing, and it's not to make no excuse because I just think Devin Booker and RJ is like, because when Devin Booker had his faults to learn and when he had to go through to learn Where RJ is learning right now, we didn't have him in the under a microscope then. We didn't really break him down, and they didn't come in the same year.
No, they didn't come in the same year.
So when you say, that's why even when you said you'll take RJ, I mean, I understood why, because you cleaned it up too. You moved back and you said because he could be a better team player.
A team player.
But he don't pass, like you said. So I feel like if you feel like he could be a better team player, but you say he don't pass, right? It's obviously he's doing that for a reason. Because you're not saying you would take him and he's a better team player and then he don't pass, right? So it has to be a reason he's not passing or what's going on. Then I just broke down the whole difference in a Phoenix team that these guys know how to like play in their role and play together. That's a difference when it comes to maybe a guy not passing as much as he should, guys looking like they are playing in roles that they ain't good in, that they just learning on the fly. And I didn't see the same if we comparing teams and why things are going on one team and why things are going on another team. That's why I said it's different circumstances, different things going on those teams. And it's a different players totally, if you ask me. He could be in the category with those guys, but he still got to prove to even be in that category, if you ask me. Do the numbers say it? Yes. But even the people who don't like him and they looking at it, it don't look good even to me. And it's because of the reasons that I just broke down. Even though he getting 20, he taking a lot of shots.
Right.
And he's missing at the rim. He's missing free throws. So he got to really earn to be in the category. But like I just said, when you rewind time, I'm sure, and you just said it, Bradley Beal went through the same process.
Right.
And
Devin
I'm sure Booker did it. So that's always my take. When I did a show comparing the numbers of his to guys that y'all glorify, not y'all up on the panel, I'm saying in general, that we glorify, they didn't have better numbers than him. And if we are going by numbers, because numbers don't lie, that's why I always laugh at people that be in the chat. Always, all they saying is something dissing, saying everything bad about RJ. That just means either they never play ball, they can't play ball, or they don't know ball. Either or, the numbers show he's on his way to being a decent player. Is he going to be an all-star? He has to earn that.
Right.
Nobody rooting for him can earn that. Only he can earn that. But that's my breakdown on the whole comparison.
I was going to jump on Hardwell. I'm going to answer your question from earlier. I don't want to go. I want to swing back real quick and then come back to this. When you said the league is there's more talent right now in the league, right? Because I was going to drop you the all-star team from '88, right? Drexler, Kareem, Worthy, Xavier McDaniel, Mark McGuire was the West. On the East was Ewing, Doc Rivers, Charles Barkley, Kevin McHale, Mo Cheeks and Danny Ainge was the East. You hear that all-star squad? Gentlemen, that was the bench. That was the bench.
Right.
That was the bench. So talk about, is there more talent now than before? Those were all the bench players. I'm talking about the East with Patrick Ewing starting. They had Moses starting ahead of him. Patrick was on the bench, rather. Danny Ainge and Doc Rivers on the bench. Right. Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan ahead of them.
Right.
When you talk about Charles Barkley, Kevin McHale, Mo Cheeks on the bench, because Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins ahead of them. So it's tough for me to go, is there more talent now? I just chose that year because I knew who was on, who was around. And it's tough to say there's more talent.
I feel like
it's talent.
We're in like a transition period right now in the league. Like the young guys are coming up and these old guys are leaving. So you're not gonna really know what these guys are like just yet. They're like Scotty Barnes could be a star next year. Like there's a lot of guys that could just come up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, Keyshawn. I'm gonna just say this. I've been saying this.
How you doing, Keyshawn?
I've been thinking this for a minute. Hey, Keyshawn, what's good, bro?
How you doing, bro?
Salute, guys. Salute. My bad.
I think that this class and the Stephon Castle class is gonna be loaded with potential stars. I think the dudes that came in now, like the Trey Mans, Josh Giddey's, the Chets, the Paulos, I think they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be better than the Scoot Hendersons and that Stephon Castle class that's coming in. That's the 2024 class, right?
Yeah.
That's the 2024 class. Supposedly, if everything
they got
goes right.
one more. Yeah, like that class, that USA team, they got one more year in high school, and some of them, and some kids from the even is going into college this year that I like too. And it depends on, some of them is winning the G League already, like you mentioned, Scoop. So it's so much. That's what I said. That's why I call it microwave talent, because they looking at each other, they competing with each other, and you got more bigs that could dribble, shoot, pass. So when you got a big getting a rebound, pushing the ball up the court a little bit, you know, not saying that never happened. It's just more players that could do it now. So from back then to now, if you see bigs doing that, you can imagine how good the guards got to be and will be. They are turning out to be good. So it's gonna be guys already in the NBA that we don't know about that come out of nowhere as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of talent, and you don't know everybody because they coming from all over now, all over the world.
Right.
True.
Right.
So we just got to be prepared. And that's another thing. My bad. Last point I want to say on that. That's another thing where Leon Rose and them probably look at too, as far as giving up all that for Spider. And we got to look at that as well, because we could stumble across a player that's almost as good as Spider now, and a little bit of work, he could pass Spider, because that's how much talent is in the league. And when you look around and you watch Pro-Am and you keep looking, not just in the league, in the world rather.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I want Spider, but if you're telling me I can get the Thompson twins, bro, I gotta weigh it. I gotta weigh it, man. And no disrespect to Spider and the people that want Spider, but if you're telling me I can have say the Thompson twins and the Castle kid on the roster at the same time, get out of here. Get out of here. The Thompson twins and the Castle kid or Donovan Mitchell. It sounds crazy right now, right? It sounds crazy right now at this moment, because one dude is a 3-time All-Star.
How are we gonna get all those picks that close though?
That's what I was gonna say.
That's feasible.
Way more than Donovan.
No, I think it's gonna be way more, so much talent in the draft that we got to start paying more attention to that.
Right. And everybody's not going top 3.
I'm not getting back into
that. That's what
that.
Freezy's saying. Yeah.
What ifs?
Everybody.
No, that's not a what if. He's saying that it's so much talent that when the draft start to hit, we could get one of these type of players that's not in the top 3, top 5, even top 8.
I know, man. I don't know, man.
No, I'm telling you, he's right. That's a great point, Freezy.
But a lot of these people saying this, bro, that sometimes they smarter than. I mean, this whole guaranteed talent thing. We haven't been lucky on them hits, man. That's all I'm saying. There's been a lot of guys.
We had like 18 or 19, and to move up to 10, how many picks you think we have to give up to move up just to 10 or 11?
That's a good point. That's a great point, Key.
We almost gave up 4 unprotected to get Ivy and more, just to get Ivy.
That's true.
But that was in a weak draft. Nobody wanted to give
and they
up
hyped up that draft. They made people almost go crazy, want to give up the whole house for Ivy, not even knowing if he could have got hurt in summer league, bro. Like
Shadion Sharp got hurt in summer league.
Yeah, like that was crazy.
Yeah, the draft is. I just want to distinguish this thing. Like the 2022, we can't use like the same comp for 22 as we use for 21 or 23. Because the stocks and the value of these kids are different, right? Like in this year's draft, you may have traded up in the top 3 in this draft if you felt like it, if you felt like getting robbed. But last year, you wasn't moving up in the top 3, no matter who you was giving up, right? Because they felt like Cade is a generational talent. Jalen Suggs seems like he's a generational talent, and I know it's too early to say. But But are you saying that you would rather pick later in the draft and get Quickly and Sims? I mean, not Quickly and Sims, but Grimes. Are you walking away? Are you walking away saying Grimes, McBride, and Sims was not worth giving up for the number 1 pick?
They think they're magicians, Freezy. They think they could go late in the draft and turn those players into, or find gems, find diamonds in the rough. They think it's not like that.
What I'm saying is if you have a shot, take it. If you have a shot, take it. You gotta take it, because otherwise, you're gonna have this conversation. Hey, what are we willing to give up to trade for such and such star player? Because you couldn't get it in the draft. Now you're trying to get it from a team. Either way, you're gonna give up assets. If you like, for instance, if you trade up in the draft to get Scoot Henderson, what's the difference in trading up in the draft to get Scoot Henderson and trading with another team to get their star player? The only difference is Scoot Henderson just hadn't proven it yet. That's the only difference. You still giving up a bunch. Mm-hmm. Or you could be the Knicks and backfill the roster with dudes with draft picks in the 20s, right? And hope one of those dudes click. And maybe one of them will eventually. But how long are you willing to wait? or like for instance, or you can have the Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish conversation, where like you see so much talent that you just want to, give them the opportunity to become something. Whereas the dude that you pick, whereas the Thompson twins, you already know right off rip, you already know they're more athletic than RJ Barrett. It's not even a discussion. Let's not even go to these dudes are more athletic than RJ and Cam Reddish put together. These dudes are more athletic. The Thompson twins are probably just as athletic or more athletic than Obi and Cam Reddish put together.
Oh yeah.
Right? Right? And then they have upside. Like you see with their upside, one is a scorer that has facilitating upside like a Bradley Beal. And the other one,
we got to be in the top 5 to get one of them.
But okay, let me pull up Tankathon. I'm gonna pull up Tankathon right now though.
I don't think we got to be in the top 5 though.
We don't.
Because it's too much. It's a lot of talent. That's why Freezy was saying that before.
Tankathon has them at 1.
If you're that high on them, like, do you think they're gonna be better? If they're better than Mitchell, you don't think other GMs that think they're that good too? I mean, come on, man, dude. Just I understand what you're doing here, but this is just crazy talk. It really is.
No, Coach, you just not understanding what I'm saying.
I do understand. We don't have enough picks to get both of them high enough.
You're not even okay. So right now, Tankathon has them at 6 and 1 at 8. The wing player is at 6. And
that's right in our area.
How are we going to get the 6 and the 8?
Yeah.
What?
I'm just saying, like, how are we going to get the number 6 pick and the number 8 pick?
Break it down for him, Freezy.
Yeah. So first of all, you're at this moment, you got 4 first-round picks. Right?
In the 23 draft?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm listening.
Right. I know it. Right now, Tankathon has you projected at 12. Right? Tankathon has us projected at 12. Right? And so the thing is depends on what you want to do. Okay. So if you choose not to take this route and you choose to take the Donovan Mitchell route, all these picks that we're mentioning are going to go in the Donovan Mitchell trade for one guy. Donovan Mitchell, and he's worth it because he's proven. Donovan Mitchell is a proven all-star, right? But right now, the word on the street from Danny Ainge is Danny Ainge wants 6 or 7 picks, like 4 unprotected and 2 protected, and Obi, Cam, and whoever. I don't even know. I don't want to pay that much for one player, right? But I do want Donovan Mitchell, right? But are you willing to trade up? Are you willing to trade up to get you a Tracy McGrady type player? I think I am.
But there's that what if factor. There's that what if he just doesn't pan out in the league, and we just wasted our future on, I'm not saying he's not going to do that, but I'm saying there's always that what if factor.
So yeah, the mindset is play. The mindset is play it safe, right? Play it safe, right?
Like it's on the right person. Like,
do you not believe that Mitchell's going to be a superstar in this league?
I think so. I think so.
I don't think he was talking about Donovan. I think he was talking about a play out the draft, right, Key?
Yeah, I was talking about player out the draft.
Yeah.
No, but my point in that is, if we think Mitchell is going to be that, then
why not go get the proven commodity?
Oh, so you're saying spend the money on Mitchell? Got you.
Instead of taking a chance on these kids.
Right.
That's a good point. I say that all the time, but
I'm not saying give up all the. I mean, if the 23 draft is all that, I would like to keep one or two of the 23 draft ones. That'd be nice, but to see if we can get lucky, on one of them picks.
We're supposed to be able to make moves and still have something to get something out the draft. Because if we're not winning off of what we do, then we should still be picking decent players out the draft. It's not, the team is just not. To me, I mean, I don't know. Some people think they picking great players, and like the Knicks fans is mixed. Like we not all in agreement with the talent. So if you keep on missing, to me it's not luck anymore. They don't know who they picking.
They just don't know what they're doing. Bro.
Yeah, so
that's what
at this point, they could still grab somebody, but I'd rather go with the guy who we see is ascending to be a superstar if he's already a star. Because you got to call Spider a star already if he's a full-time all-star already, carried his team to the playoffs. So that's enough reason for me right there to go with that. But to overpay to not be able to do anything else is crazy. But we'll see how it play out.
Right.
But it may be worth to spend a little bit more, though, to make that happen because of what was just mentioned, gambling, even not knowing what we're going to get, spending the picks elsewhere or moving down because of our situation, how, they don't never want to like sit the players or, to get a better draft position. We always going to fall in the same spot because we fight into the very, very end when we're not probably going to make the play in this like last season type of situation.
Right. And listen, I can't begrudge the kids because once you took the ball hogs off the floor and then let the kids rock, bro, you saw what Cam Reddish could be. You know what I'm saying? You saw what Obi could be. And for those thinking that Cam got hurt, Cam Reddish got hurt on a hustle play. Like people used to always question his motor, question his heart. Like Cam Reddish got hurt on a play where he was showing heart and hustle. You know what I'm saying?
But is he always hurt, Freezy, to you?
I know that's the I don't want to say that. See, for one, I don't want to say anything bad about Cam. So the thing is I want to be real about Cam, but I also, y'all know, I feel like Cam Reddish, if unlocked, can be Tracy McGrady. I said that multiple times last year. Multiple times on this joint here, I said Cam Reddish, if unlocked, can be Tracy McGrady. But during that time, people will come to me and say, well, if he could be Tracy McGrady, how come he's not doing it yet? Or they'll say something like, if Tibbs would give him minutes and if he would get minutes. Nah, man, the thing is Cam Reddish has been, and this is not a Cam Reddish referendum or a Cam Reddish diss. What I'm saying to you is the team does have talent, right? But they're not performing at that level where we should be satisfied with what they're doing yet, right? We want to see Cam prove it. We want to see Obi prove it. We want to see RJ prove it. We want to see Quickly prove it. We want to see Grimes prove it. But what I'm saying is next year's draft have dudes in it that where some of these young players we have right now need to take that next step. A couple of dudes, like I think like 7 dudes in this high school draft, this draft coming out next year, are already at that place where some of our guys are trying to get to right now. Already. Athletically, there are dudes in this draft where you're like, oh my goodness, this dude's a freak of nature. Do we have a 6'7" dude that's a freak of nature? No, we don't have that. We RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's an okay athlete, but he ain't get ready to wow you with foot speed and all that stuff. RJ Barrett is a good athlete in a different way, right? RJ Barrett is a good dude. RJ Barrett, I think athletically is good at contorting his body in traffic to get a shot off at the rim. Right? But is he gonna jump over the top of somebody and yam it? Nah.
But what they got over them, Freezy? Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. You was about to say something. Sorry.
No, I was gonna bring in CWC.
Oh, cool. I was gonna say, but what they may have, like on the other side of it, what they may have, right, is like all these players that we talking about that got the experience of the NBA over these young guys, they may make their next step in a direction, because not all of them, some of them will make their next step in a direction of becoming a better player, being more efficient, because they all have to go through that process. Now, it's going to be some of them young guys that make the steps quicker than some of our guys still, but not a lot. There's going to be still time they have to learn in the league, especially when you're talking about like RJ 4th year going in. You know, even when you look at Obi and Quickly, the experience and the stuff that they learn, when they make that jump, you know, they're going to get better as well, is what I'm trying to say. So with that being said, that's what puts us in a dilemma, or the team. Should they give up on these guys or to go with some new guys? Because these guys may turn the corner and turn out to be decent players. And I think with our team, we don't need too much talent. We just need guys that could play and could mesh together and play their role. That's the whole point of having a good team. And that could be the reason why they could have put some of these guys together. At the same time, it's a lot of guys stuck in position. Everybody can't stay. You know what I mean? So that's the part that they got to figure out, where a couple people do need to go, and do we need to figure out, do we go with the guys that can turn the corner, or go with some guys that may come in and not even turn out to be better than RJ Barrett, or because that's the gamble. You know what I mean? You don't know if a young guy, because it's a lot of stuff that ties into it. They got to be professional. They got to be willing to put the work in, you know. Yeah, so that's a lot of stuff people don't look at. They just look at, oh, this guy know how to play, he coming in, right? But look at how professional some of the guys is, like RJ, for example, or even Quickly. He's a gym rat, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a gamble either way. And that was the point I wanted to make on giving up and hoping another guy could come in that's younger, and he still got to make steps that the guy you already have already made. You know what I'm saying? You may see his potential, but for him to live up to it, he gotta do a lot of stuff as far as to be an NBA player. You know what I mean? So that's the game.
I just want to say this just real quick. If we could do it, I just want to do a comparison for a lot of us. Like a lot of us understand running backs, right? RJ Barrett, in my opinion, is like the Emmitt Smith, and I know Emmitt Smith got a lot of rushing yards. What I'm talking about is the way Emmitt Smith is built. Emmitt Smith wasn't the fastest, wasn't the most athletic, didn't have the softest hands. But the one thing that Emmitt Smith could do, Emmitt Smith was a smart dude that could stay healthy and can present multiple things and multiple run formations. Like the most physically gifted running back that we've probably ever seen is probably either Bo Jackson or Fred Taylor. Now, is Fred Taylor the all-time leading rusher in the NFL? No. But physically gifted, when you're talking about a dude 6'2", 220-something guy, a coach, he was laying down on the ground, and a coach told him to get up and ran the 40. Fred Taylor took off slippers, put on some cleats, and ran a 4.3 on grass, right? At 220, whatever he was.
He was like 230.
Or 230, yeah.
Yeah, he was close to it.
Yeah. So physically gifted and most productive can be two different things. That's why I don't ever want to give up on RJ Barrett. Because some of the greatest players to play in any sport may not be the most physically gifted guy, but they could be the most consistently productive guy. Like Derek Jeter as physically gifted as Hanley Ramirez? No, but Derek Jeter was
A-Rod.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mentality's definitely everything, and that's why I don't know about Cam. Like obviously he has more talent than like RJ. Most of the people on the roster,
physical talent, right?
Yeah, but obviously there's something going on as to why he's not playing, even on Atlanta. Like I know
playing on Atlanta though, bro. That's a misnomer. He was playing in Atlanta. He was getting more than 20 minutes.
He was, but he's playing as a third string, right? So I'm just saying, he has the skills to be a star, but why are we not seeing the production? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think he did have production for the amount of minutes he played.
On Atlanta, he was playing behind more talent, I think. Yeah. But on our team, I felt like he should have been. But I think it was because of the injury. So
I think it was simple. Nick was good.
More talented.
What's good, Freezy?
Yo,
how y'all doing?
Good. I think that let me. Hey, Nick, how the family doing, bro?
Hey, family's good, man. They all right here. How's everybody doing? How's the Blorange Tears family?
Hey man, I just found out like an hour ago, like one of my uncles passed away.
Oh man.
Yeah. This is real life. This is real life, bro. Real life.
Rest in peace to your uncle.
Right now. That's crazy.
I found out while I was on the joint.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Because if I'd have found out before, I wouldn't have came on. But I saw my phone blowing up. I'm like, why is everybody calling me? And then I messed around and dipped off to take the call and then find out. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. And then you came up here to rip my head off though, right?
No. I just wanted to chime in on the Cam Reddish thing. Like,
please don't diss Cam, bro, because
no, I'm not.
You know, Cam is my heartstring. I try to be a realist about it, but you know, Cam is one of my heartstrings.
I bash Cam for his attitude and everything surrounding Cam, but like his talent, it is there. Like he has talent.
Oh, I'm coming.
One of the big things about Cam, or even some of your comparisons, to me, like Emmitt Smith versus Barry Sanders. Like Barry Sanders had way more talent, right? But Emmitt Smith just had the heart to get things done, and I think that's the difference between Cam and RJ. I mean, the one thing about Cam, to me, I always feel like he is the talented kid that everything comes too easy to, so he doesn't have to try as hard, or he doesn't try to try hard.
Right.
Some of the young kids that's in this upcoming draft, like they're so talented and gifted, and I always say this about every draft that's coming up. More and more of these kids are influenced by Steph Curry. So unlike past drafts, this draft is even more influenced, and you have a lot of more kids that are physically gifted, but they could shoot with it.
Yeah,
so
man.
when you think about back in the day, like Anthony Randolph, Derek Williams, guys who had physical gifts, right, and they could dunk on anybody, but they couldn't shoot worth a lick.
Michael Beasley.
Beasley learned how to shoot.
He learned how to shoot. Yeah,
I think he could shoot.
Jonathan Bender. You remember Jonathan Bender? Jonathan Bender?
John Wall. You know, there's so many guys that couldn't shoot.
Right.
So, like, I just feel like, you know, the future versus past. I don't think James Dolan is gonna wait for you to develop a young kid.
You don't think so? I think he will, bro.
But how talented does that player have to be? Because, like, okay, just like to someone's point, if you choosing a player, let's say number 8, how talented is a number 8 pick versus a number 1 pick? Like, I can see James Dolan waiting on a number 1 overall pick to develop, but a number 8th pick.
All right, so just for your analogy, Tinkathon has the number 8 pick being Amen Thompson, a shooting guard / point guard, 6'7", 199. right? With James Dolan, and see, this kid is not going to be. He's not going to be an NBA point guard. He'll be an NBA combo guard, right? But dudes like this, they give you these weird and listen. I know this is blasphemous, but kids like this give you that. If you unlock it, it might be Kobe Bryant. It might be. If you unlock it. I mean, shit, he might wind up being Cam Reddish. But if you unlock it, it's Kobe Bryant. Do you take the chance on that guy, or do you trade back in the draft, play it safe, and just get a contributor? Go get a dude to play alongside Quinn Grimes. CWC, what's good, bro?
What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? What's up, panel? What's up, chat?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, man. Like, if a good price comes with Donovan Mitchell, I'm down, but I'm not giving up 13 plays for one guy. You know what I mean? 4 unprotected and 5 or 7 draft picks, and then 3 are young guys. Man, that's crazy, man.
Well,
I don't know what he's working on in Utah.
Well, I don't think no one's wanting that deal, obviously, on our end. But
I think we all agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you get rid of Fournier, right? If you get rid of Grimes, those are best shooter right there. And who gonna shoot them 3-pointers? We don't really got no good 3-pointers guys.
Well, we can still pick up a 3-point shooter or 2.
Who?
Yeah. I'm not worried about that.
Man, I can.
See, this is what I'm talking about. People ain't worried about playing B. They're not worried about that when they get Mitchell.
So you wouldn't give up Grimes and Fournier and just and three unprotected. That's it.
No, he won 4 and 7 draft picks.
No, that's what the Utah Jazz Freezy guys are saying. Okay, and Danny Ainge never said that officially.
Right.
That's just all speculation.
Speculation, yeah.
So that means everything is speculation then.
I mean, he wants 5. I mean, he wants all he can get. Obviously, he's gonna want the world, obviously, but
first he want Barrett, right? Then he said he didn't want Barrett. Now he want Grimes and
no. It's speculated that is what he wants. He never said that publicly or privately. That's the speculation.
Do you guys remember the magazine National Enquirer?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, and World News Report.
Yeah, I remember.
All right. So when you're in the
when you checking out, the
grocery store, they sit right there and you waiting for your turn. And you're thumbing through it like all these crazy stories. Basically, we have internet versions of those now. Okay, especially in the sports world.
Right.
You know, everybody's a beat reporter. Everyone's trying to release information like they some kind of reporter or something. You know, everyone's a breaking news person now because we got portable cameras on our cell phones.
I think it's the greatest invention of the century. The greatest invention of the century was camera phones.
Yeah, but you know what? In my world, and for me, if you see some cops whooping my ass or some people hurting me, put your damn phone down and help me. Don't record it. Right. Put your phone down and help me out.
Yeah.
That's TikTok.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get your 30 seconds, but then put it down and hook me up.
Show their badge, show the call, and all that stuff, and run over.
Yeah.
There. But I would say this though. So to your point though, CWC is. Nobody is really wanting to give up that much for Donovan Mitchell, though we do want Donovan Mitchell. In a perfect world, we could get Donovan Mitchell and draft one of these guys out of the first round next year. That'd be the best case scenario for us. Get him, keep a bunch of the young kids, and then get another young kid to go with that young core and have Donovan Mitchell. And I know that's a lot to ask, but mind you, I said best case scenario, right? Now, worst case scenario is you don't get Donovan Mitchell, right? You play the kids and they don't step up. You go into the draft and all your draft picks slide down the board. And then the talent is right there at your fingertips and you can't trade up. That's the worst case scenario. Now we all know that usually the Knicks, even though we hate it, but the Knicks never encountered the worst case scenario. We're always just fingertips away from the best case scenario and can't get to the best case scenario. And that's why in that frustration, that's what we get frustrated, and that's why things are what they are with us. Like the Steph Curry thing. Steph Curry is right there at 7. We can't get him. We take Jordan Hill, rump at 8, and the Toronto Raptors take DeMar DeRozan at 9.
We cursed.
Yeah, and then later on in that draft, instead of getting Drew Holiday out of that draft, we don't take Drew Holiday because he's not a pure point guard. So they say when he was coming out of school, right? And pass on him and take Jordan Hill. And Drew Holiday is still in the league, still winning right now.
Is that why we move out the draft?
Bro, it's we
Oh God.
That's what I'm saying, man. Next year's draft, 2023 and 2024, you got to be on your A game, right? Because only once in every 15 or so years, a draft like these come along. Most drafts have like 4 great players, 15 good players, and then 20 or 30 players have to go to the perfect situation, right? And that's mostly every draft, right? Four good, borderline great players, a bunch of good players, and then players that depend on the situation, right? Like for instance, I'll give you an example. If Kevin Knox had been drafted by the Denver Nuggets and Michael Porter Jr. had been drafted by the Knicks, I think both players would be thriving in the NBA right now. And why that is because Kevin Knox would have been required to do less and shine in the things that he's good at, whereas a but a dude wanting to be that guy, and Michael Porter Jr. would have embraced the challenge of New York. Come here to be the 6'9" scoring machine that he naturally is. Right? Now, would he have done that right away? Of course not. Of course, he'd have been injured. You know what I'm saying? You'd have had to sit him, let him read. But at the time this was going on, we had just saw Philly do it with Ben Simmons and Philly do it with Joel Embiid. Just sit him down, get him completely healthy, then bring him back when he's ready. Right? That's all the Knicks had to do with Michael Porter Jr. You know what I'm saying? Now, Michael Porter Jr. is one of them dudes that mentally looks like he's built for this. You know what I'm saying? Physically, he's breaking down, but mentally, the dude he say whatever he want to say. He don't care. People bash him on social media, and he give him the thumbs, the middle finger. He don't care. he got that mentality. Like I don't care what you say about me.
He got that Tibbs mentality.
Yeah. Michael Porter Jr. got that mentality. Like Michael Porter Jr. told somebody, "Cry me a river." If he'd ever told me that, I'd have. Michael Porter Jr. don't care though. You know what I'm saying? He don't care. You know what I'm saying? So, but the point I'm getting at is the situations sometimes dictate if a player is going to be good or not. But to the draft next year, so those that are thinking, so chat, y'all are thinking, I think the Knicks are going to get the Thompson twins. I always preface it with my dream scenario is we get the Thompson twins. So for those that think I think the Knicks are gonna just automatically have 2 top 6 picks, that's not what I'm saying. I try to preface it with my pipe dream, my dream of all dreams is to get the Thompson twins. Now if a situation happens where we don't get the Thompson twins and we in some weird twist of fate, we get Nick Smith and Anthony Black, the backcourt from Arkansas, I can live with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can live with that. But basically what I'm saying is we don't know who's going to land where yet. We just know next year's draft is going to be super deep and talented. like the Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James draft.
I think we're gonna get some luck back, Freeze. After all what we've been through, we deserve some luck back. That's why we gotta keep sticking our hand in there. I mean, it takes some skill, but we've been so like it's not been working out for us. So it gotta turn the other way at some point, But we gotta try to improve who we pick.
You gotta keep
and what
trying.
we do. Yeah, you gotta keep trying.
You
get it right. You get it right.
I mean, if it wants to become an efficient in the barrel situation, then yeah. I mean, obviously, it would be nice to have, at least two top, 14 picks or whatever.
Right.
I mean, how many deep is this draft? You think? I mean, they think there's 15 players in this draft that are future All Stars.
No, not future All Stars. But you talking about
Well, that's all I care about.
Well, I mean, but you not taking.
I'm tired of drafting role players and possible starters.
Right.
We need to draft an All-Star.
Right, but Coach,
you know what I'm saying?
But what if you get one All-Star out of this draft and one All-Star out of 2024? Is that satisfactory?
If we can get it to not get Mitchell and get that, if you can guarantee that, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm in the guarantee business, bro, right now with the Knicks. I ain't trying to get this because it's still the numbers say even the number 6 pick and the number 8 pick are 20% chance they become an All-Star. I just looked it up. The percentage at each pick, it's still a 20% chance they're an All-Star.
Right. Hey, but what does Donovan Mitchell guarantee you? And this is me just asking you honestly. I'm not trying to be a jerk about this. I just want to so that
great question. Great question.
What does Donovan Mitchell guarantee you?
That's. I mean, no player as far as team success.
Yeah.
Or his
own. Or whatever.
I mean, he's going to be an All-Star, and with Jalen Brunson and him, it's going to let our other ascending players and our own homegrown ascending star to be RJ be able to be comfortable to become that, because in turn getting Mitchell is going to facilitate us having another All-Star. It's going to create another All-Star on our team. So to me, by adding him, we're getting 2 All-Stars. Like you know what I'm saying? Because of what he's going to do for the game of RJ and Randall and Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I
would hope that. I think they would have to. I mean, I would say it would be easier probably, but once we re-sign RJ, and whatever other pieces, how that's gonna work.
I mean, I compare this to like us as grown men. Okay, we with this fine woman, bro. When before she had kids, bro, that body was tight. Them things were sitting there nice. You know what I'm saying? But now, like we've been with her for a little bit. We've seen all her flaws. Sometimes she gets on your nerves, but when we go out on Friday, she gets done up and put together. Like, whew, she's still fine. You know,
I'm about to say I love my old lady, man.
But you know what I'm saying?
Listening, man. You ain't
I'm saying, they still feel like it's and the long story short is.
Look, he said long story short
is you don't appreciate what you have sometimes, but all of a sudden, as a man, like you looking like, dang, bro. That girl's 22 years old. Oh my goodness, look at her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's what we are, like in a basketball sense. We're like, we're valuing these young because of what it's a new toy to play with kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we're appreciating what we got sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But because of the lure of that new young thing coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's all we needed. That's all we needed, a point guard. and then we got another center. That's all we needed.
I know, bro. That's what I'm saying.
So we good now? We good now?
But what I'm saying, we don't. Well, I'm saying we really don't need Mitchell if you think about it.
Well, all right, I ain't gonna go that far. We a playing team without him.
No, if you had Mitchell and Randall and RJ Barrett on the same court, it's only one ball.
See, there you go. You one of them guys again. Here we go.
But that's good though. You need it like that. Here we
go with this.
You need it like that.
It's not gonna be that way. It's
not
like RJ.
Let him kick it.
But he's trying to assume that that's how they're gonna play. Like I don't think that.
I don't think that. But let me hear what he's saying.
Yeah,
go ahead,
Charlie. My bad.
Go ahead, Job.
Go ahead, Charlie Ward. That's CWC.
This dude just walked. Don't worry about it.
He walked away.
He don't want the smoke. He don't want the smoke.
He got a phone call.
He don't want the smoke. What's good, Soulfinger? What's good?
What's happening, fellas? What's going down?
What's good with you?
Go ahead, bro.
Oh man, just another day. I actually got a day. I actually took the day off. Do some running around. I had you on. I was checking y'all out in the ride when I was dropping little man off at school, and some good points. I just wanted to follow up and agree. I agree with what my man with Nick G was saying earlier about Cam, about the most talented kid with just stuff comes so easy to him, and it's because he kind of, and you've known cats like that. If you play ball, cats like that. Game comes so easy, they look bored. That bored disposition about him. I think that we'll see what happens with Cam this year. And like I said, we got Bronson. I've been saying I think Bronson is the key master and is going to unlock a lot of players. To be honest, this whole Donovan thing, man, I got Donovan Mitchell fatigue. I need something to happen. Either you gonna take the dump or get off the pot. That's the way I look at it, man. Something got to happen. I see how I cleaned it up for you, Freezer. I don't want to use the word. I want to turn my brain mouth filter on for you. So you're going to take the dump and get off the pot, man. Something got to happen. And I know, and I said it before, it's going to take a while. This is not going to be a simple process because you got to go back and forth. Ainge is trying to get his. And, he's the Ripper. Ainge the Ripper. He's trying to get it all. Brand new socks and drawers, all that stuff, man. And, but let's see if they have a plan B. So, if this plan A doesn't work, what's the plan B going to be? You're going to shift it, look at another player, or you're going to sit tight and focus on this draft coming up? Because like I said, this draft supposedly is very, very deep.
Oh, it's like very deep.
Very, very deep. Just like the Melo and that draft.
Carmelo,
the Bron, that draft. It was deep. And, before we got in before.
And GMs knew that for years. GMs knew this for years.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Remember before the one name that came out a lot amongst Knicks Nation I saw in chats was Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson. So I'm not saying we're gonna get him. I'm just saying if you can get a Scoot Henderson, if it doesn't work out with Donovan Mitchell and you got a chance to take a shot at a Scoot Henderson, jump on it with both feet or whoever else is out there. I can't say who's out there right now because I know there's a lot of you cats that have been doing more of a deep, deeper than Atlanta's dive on this upcoming draft. So I have to see. But I know to talk about potential because you don't know what this young cat going to do. And then with our track record, we trade back and get players instead of trying to trade up or you can't trade up. We'll see how it goes.
I want to chime in on that. Soulfinger, just to like piggyback off of that, a lot of people are actually skipping over the fact that Leon added more draft evaluators this offseason.
Thank you, Nick.
Before they made that trade, to trade out of the draft, they added Tim Hardaway's dad, Tim Hardaway Sr. Sorry. They added another guy, another draft evaluator. Not to mention,
they added him before Hardaway, right?
Yeah.
But they added him in January and had added Hardaway late January, right?
Yeah. Well, was it late? They added somebody during the draft, like during the draft process.
No, you talking about the third person. I thought you were talking about
the third person came during the draft process because Hardaway was. We heard about Hardaway mainly because of the name.
Yeah.
And there was all in all, like before they even made the decision to trade out the draft, they added more and more draft evaluators. And if you, I did the research on Leon Rose before he came on board, and one of the things that was constant about Leon Rose was he likes a committee to make a decision
because he's a CEO. Yep.
He's more of a CEO than like a primary decision maker.
Than a Pat Riley. Yep.
He likes to get everyone's input, think about it, deliberate it, and then come back and make his decision. And I mean, to some degree, it's worked so far. May not be like the highest in success, but he has like it's well thought out. It's not like a rush decision. It's not brash.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. You can't say he didn't think something through.
Right.
You can't say that about Leon Rose so far.
Yeah.
They tried to get Ivy. They did try to move up. It didn't work. I mean, if you were Detroit, you weren't trading Ivy for a million picks because that's too perfect of a scenario to have Cade and Ivy together. I mean, and you have to think about it that way as a Knicks fan. Like, take off your Knicks hat and think from the other team's perspective.
And Nick G, let me just throw this in there real quick. And Troy Weaver and Leon Rose are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you can't make a deal with your friend, that just lets you know how much your friend values that player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got work out of. Because think about it. Man, Leon Rose and Troy Weaver have already done deals in the past. This is the second time they've done a deal together, I think. Right?
Yeah, the draft was the second, and you consider it now. Yeah, it is the second. That was the second because remember, because of Derrick Rose situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was the first.
Yeah, and it's like what I keep saying about SGA deal. I think the Knicks can get SGA anytime they want to, because Leon Rose and Sam Presti do one trade every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Every year. And so if the Knicks want SGA, he there for the picking. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them deals like, does Leon Rose want SGA though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I always like to consider. It's like not about just go trade Randall or just go get such and such. No, think about the relationships that these front offices have with each other. Right? It's one of the reasons why I think the Knicks did the trade with the Bulls and Lakers and that stupid Denzel Valentine deal that we got Denzel Valentine. The deal was so dumb I think the deal was so dumb. I don't even think it was a Knicks trying to get Denzel Valentine. I think the Knicks were trying to establish the fact that they can work with other front offices.
Trying to get relationships throughout the league, right. because if you remember, sorry, I mean to cut you off, Freeze, or jump in, Nick, on your thing, on your take. But in the past, we were we weren't able to make moves. Two, it came across like we weren't willing to work with anybody. Right. So it's kind of like you're trying to clean up the past by making a move like this. Denzel Valentine. I was, yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, but and I think Julian Blum said, did it clear money? Nah, man, because we got him and we cut him.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a byproduct of getting Denzel Valentine, we had to cut Wayne Selden.
Yeah.
So we cut Selden when instead of doing a Denzel Valentine move, we could have just cut Wayne Selden.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that. I said that because you went on about that one. You went hard on that one because it made no sense to bring in Valentine just to waive Selden. You should have just waived Selden, right? And go there. We took on the salary, which he wasn't going to even play.
And my deal was, why did you bring on Wayne Selden when you could have added MJ Walker to the roster? But anyway, thank you for the generous contribution, Justin DW. Hey, Justin, what's good, bro? We appreciate you, man. Justin says we should get Mitch, but not gut the team. We lost too many games that we led in and I know because I bet against Knicks in so many third quarters and won. Yeah, appreciate that, man.
But that's why we got Bronson, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what we was asking you. Where you think what seed we gonna be CWC with Brunson? Because you had walked away from the phone.
Oh, my bad. I thought somebody was coming in my class.
That's all right, bro. It's all good.
I didn't mean to cut you off earlier too. By the way, my bad.
Oh no, you good. You good. I believe we can make the 6. Because if you think about it, we'll be better than Orlando, Indiana Pacers, Charlotte, and we might be right there with the Hawks. We might be right there with the Hawks again. And I think we'll be better than Chicago.
Damn.
Okay.
So we last year we had no point guard. We beat Chicago 2 times. We beat Boston 1 time without no point guard.
That's a good take.
I
respect it. At least you got a reason for saying it. I respect it.
That's what we needed, a point guard. So why would we give up Toppin and Grimes and everybody else? They just needed a point guard, and we got a center.
I'm not agreeing with. You saying? Oh, see.
This dude pretty good. I've been watching LA Clippers for a minute, and this dude is good.
Cool.
He's a good center. He could shoot. Yeah, he could shoot, rebound, and he finish. I think he will help Randall out, because Randall could go to the hole more instead of Mitch clogging the paint with his guy in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says Donovan is making us overpay by being quiet. Paris Duggar, I absolutely 100% agree.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I had that idea and take back when the move was about to happen. Like, to me, Donovan, if he in his heart wants to be with the Knicks and he wants to make his team here better immediately, that he needs to say something.
Right, but he's got to say the right thing. See, because if he says, I want to be a Knick, then that deep 6, then the Knicks are going to have to overpay.
Right.
Danny Ainge don't care about that.
Yeah, because if he says, I want to be a Knick, then you get the Knicks fan base riled up, putting pressure on Leon Rose to go get him. But
that's why I don't agree with him. Like,
do Danny Ainge got to respect that?
But listen, the second part of that is this. If Donovan Mitchell comes out and says, listen, I understand the direction of the team, I respect the franchise, but I feel like I don't want to waste going into my prime waiting on this team to rebuild.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trade me somewhere. Just trade me somewhere where I can compete. Now, if that is said, now the pressure is on Danny Ainge, because Danny Ainge started the rebuild, and Donovan Mitchell don't want to be a part of it. Now they have irreconcilable differences. Now the Knicks can jump in and it's like, yo, Donovan don't want to be there. Now we're not going to pay premium prices. But if Spider says, I want to be a Knick, now the pressure is on the Knicks to do something. And you don't want to be in that situation.
But Freeze, also, everyone so there was something I was going to say about like Leon Rose. In addition, he has made really smart moves so far. If Spider says that he wants to be a Knick specifically, that adds fuel to the fire for the collusion, because Leon Rose was his agent. Right. So they're already under investigation with the
Bronson situation
thing, right?
They can't do nothing with that Bronson thing. So that's crazy.
Well, but
they own family.
But what they gonna do? The Jalen Brunson thing, the NBA is investigating the Knicks. It's not Dallas Mavericks who complained and said, I think there's collusion going on.
Right.
Mark Cuban said, I don't think it was collusion. Right. So Mark Cuban is not arguing against the Knicks.
Oh, yeah. And he's the kind of businessman that would have, for sure.
But from that standpoint, the relationships, because the Knicks have made multiple trades with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And they have a deep relationship. I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban wouldn't want to to ruin his relationship with CAA also. So like you gotta thread water like lightly. I know it will make sense for Donovan to say something, but he can't say the wrong thing.
Right.
And he's giving signals and signs. He's in New York wearing every team. Like was he wearing a Rangers last week or?
Yeah, that's true.
He's wearing everything except.
He is. I said the same thing, Nick. I said he's saying it other ways, the professional way, because he's real professional. Yeah, I was like, he's out in the rucker with Fat Joe. You're seeing it all over Instagram and the media. So he's saying it another way because he's a professional cat. Facts.
That's a good point. Hey, good one, Hard. And also think about it like this. With all the KD talk about when he came out, want to be traded, the Kyrie situation, that's just less. He already sees that the situation is volatile and is all over the news and everything. And you got Joe Bag of Donuts and Susie Slapstick reporting all kinds of garbage about the Knicks. If he would have done that, the whole universe would have imploded. So he's just playing it cool. And just like Nick G said, with this whole investigation, the NBA is investigating the Knicks with the whole Jalen Brunson about collusion. He's playing it cool. He's going to let it work the way he's going to work. But you see, he's saying it without saying it. If you look at what he's doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's in New York. Granted, yeah, he's from New York, but the things he's doing, the people he's hanging out with. If you kind of look at that, and you could be making something a little bit more out of it. But look at you seen him out with IQ hanging out or whatever. You seen him at this event, that event. So it's those things that you kind of look into. But it's like I said, in all, this whole situation is going to work its way out. It will come together like butt cheeks. It's going to come together.
All right, hey y'all. So I got about 15 minutes left that I can write. I got to work on some other stuff. But what I wanted to do is ask you this: do you guys see one of our young players taking that next step to stardom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see Poppin, IQ, and Grimes.
Well,
so you gotta remember last year, Grimes just a rookie.
Okay, so a team generally doesn't have 3 stars on it, but what I'm saying is do you see them taking the step? I'm not just kind of what you said, but I'm saying, because notice I said taking steps towards stardom and not becoming a star, right? But if you expect all three of those guys to take steps toward stardom, what is the factor that drives them in that direction?
I don't. IQ and Obi, especially if the Mitchell trade app, they're not going to get enough playing time to be like that. And Grimes, to me ain't going to be a star, but he's going to be a great role player.
Okay.
Really good role player.
I think what Grimes need to do to take that next step, I just think you need to put the ball on the floor, take it to the hole more, and get on that free throw line.
Take it to the basket. Remember that from 2K? Yeah. Yeah.
And then Obi had to play more better defense than help rebound, than the way he got to do. Leak off.
Okay. All right. And I'm asking that, man. Do you see any other young players that have not taken those steps towards stardom, taking that step towards stardom? I honestly believe that the one guy that we sleep on is Cam Reddish. But I don't want to start back fueling this Tracy McGrady conversation again, because what it does is it takes over the summer. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts.
But
you got to fire Tibbs. You got to trade RJ. You got to do all these things for Cam. That I don't want to get back into that like we did last summer. But what I do want to say suggest though is, I think in a more free flowing offense, I think all those guys can become better and more efficient, especially Grimes. Grimes' efficiency is not just dependent on his 3-point shooting, but I think Grimes can get better if he becomes a better free throw shooter. And don't tell me Grimes is a good 3-point. I don't want to hear that BS, right? Because
Cam Reddish is
right. We don't tell me Grimes is a good shooter when the dude shot 68% from the free throw line because he looked like a good free throw shooter. I don't want to hear that. What I'm saying is if he improves, I hope he will. I hope he will. You know what I'm saying? I think Grimes, that putting the ball on the floor, offensively diversifying his offensive bag makes him more of a threat. But these things are slow to develop. So don't expect Grimes to average 20 points a game and have a 105 defensive rating. That means Grimes is an all-star. What we should expect from Grimes is maybe 12 points a game, 40, 42, 43% from the floor, around 39% from the three-point line, and around 75% from the free throw line. And if he exceeds 75% from the free throw line, all that means is his numbers will go up. But those field goal percentages, I don't see them being higher than that, right? And I think you can expect the same thing from Cam Reddish. I think Cam Reddish, with a point guard that wants to pass, and this is the thing that I've been wanting to say to y'all too about Cam Reddish in Atlanta. Cam Reddish played with an absolute ball-dominant point guard.
Right.
Absolute ball-dominant cat.
That was one reason he asked to be traded as well.
Right. You can't develop guys with a guy that's developing, right? Because just because Trae Young is good doesn't mean that Trae Young is not developing. Trae Young is still a young player, right? He's still trying to develop and learn the game himself, right? And so when you can't develop multiple young guys, especially at point, and try to be a playoff team at the same time, because you're asking yourself, do we want to make the playoffs or do we want to develop kids? And that's where Cam Reddish, in my opinion, got caught up in the wash. You have 2 dudes, 3 dudes playing the same position. You're trying to make the playoffs. You're trying to develop a guard. You're trying to develop a big. You got all these things going on. Cam Reddish gets caught up in a wash. I understand where he's coming from. Now, with that said, people are going to say, well, Uncle Freezy, you got the same thing going on in New York right now. Jalen Brunson will be a 5th-year point guard, a 5th-year player, right? You don't have a bunch of dudes that play the same position as Cam Reddish on the team. You don't have fluid, athletic, small forwards to play the position. RJ is there. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Farron Hunt is not a threat yet. Right.
And for the people that say Grimes can play the 3, you might as well just turn in your basketball IQ card because he is not a 3. I'm sorry.
Grimes is not a 3. You only saw him play against 3s or 2s when other teams went small.
Yeah, when they did the 3-guard thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one night Chris Middleton was killing us, and Tom Thibodeau was so desperate. He was like, Grimes, try to stop him. And Grimes went out there and slowed him down a little bit. But that doesn't mean Grimes will be able to do that every night.
Fact.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Say we get Donovan Mitchell, right? Now, you think that will hurt Bronson from setting up the offense? Because Mitchell need the ball too? Like when Bronson tries to set up the offense, he clapping for the ball. You know what I mean? You think that will hurt
Brunson played good off the ball. He just played with Luka Doncic. That's the good part about Brunson. But I think they interchangeable. That's to me, that's what'll make it dope. Where either one of them can start the break and bring the ball up and get going. And the fact that both of them could play off the ball, because Utah had Conley. So you know what I mean? You just gotta look at that point right there and see that both of those guys are really good off the ball as well as with the ball in their hand.
Right. And I think just real quick, I don't want to introduce a new topic, but those of us that played high school basketball know a backcourt is a guard tandem. If a point guard can't be on the floor with a guard that initiates the offense and runs some stuff, what's he doing playing ball at the highest level? Mm-hmm. Guards used to be tandems. Like when you used to pressure in the reason why they listen. First of all, the reason why a guard has the name guard is not because they score and initiate. It's because historically, they have to guard the other team's rim on the break in transition. That's why they call them guards, right? You got two guards, right? On a long rebound, the other team trying to run the other way. The two dudes that's supposed to be back first is the guards get back and stop the ball, make them set up, get in offense. And then your center, who is also sprinting, he is the center of the offense and defense. Everything was designed to run around the center of the defense and offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that's like a history lesson from out of nowhere, but basically what I'm saying is if you get it Brunson and Mitchell backcourt together, they work in tandem. Like one dude may not average 8 assists, but both dudes can average 5.5, 6 assists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? RJ can get his assist total up. Randall can still average the same amount of assists. And they don't always have to be on the court together at the same time either.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Uncle Freezy.
Yeah. So
I have to be on the court at the same time.
Yeah, because there will be some lineups. If we get Donovan Mitchell, there'll be some lineups with, think about this, Spider and RJ in the backcourt, Cam Reddish and Obi at the 4, and Hartenstein at the 5, or Mitch at the 5.
Ooh.
Right? And so these are the things that we have to think about. We can't just think about the starting five, and then it'd be a shift change. Nah, man. Starters are going to play with some backups. Backups are going to play with some starters. You know what I'm saying? Role players are going to play with the starters sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just let's not box ourselves into whatever.
Yeah.
Brunson is more of a winner. So you got to look at Brunson, like even from college, like it's not always about scoring. He showed he could score the ball, but he know how to do things to help the team win, make plays. When you watch his game, he's gonna make plays, and if you got more offensive threats on the court, then that's easier for him to either score or get off the ball, and they're gonna score. That's the best part about having more talent on the floor. Right. It wouldn't be too much if you ask me, because like the way the East is set up now, you need that much talent on the floor. And then if you could get that type of talent to really play together, that's what makes a good team. And that's what they're gonna have to do anyway in order to win. Because some players is not gonna get the same amount of points that they used to get every night. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it's gonna go.
Right. But it's a long season though.
Facts. It don't matter. You got to sacrifice that to win. Right. And I think that's what some of the other players gonna have to do, who felt like, however they felt last season when these guys come in, especially if we get Donovan Mitchell, they're gonna have to basically play their role even better. It's way less pressure for them. So they should be way more efficient. And now you got players, like I always say, could go off the ball, go off the dribble. Changes the whole dynamic.
Right. And then players are going to go through shooting slumps or hot streaks during the season. They're going to get fed the ball. Basically, what you don't want to do is ask for a dude to give you 30 a night. With that scenario, what you want to do is, if the dude can get that 30 and be efficient, get it. If he can't, then pass that rock, probe, look for other shots. You know what I'm saying? Because this team won't have a Michael Jordan type player, but this dude will have a lot of Kevin Johnson type players, right? Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, I'm angry that Grimes is a good shooter.
Bim.
What? Bim.
I think that the biggest question mark for me for this team is going to be Randall. Do we keep or trade him? Because I have confidence that RJ would play off ball and be fine, or even with the ball and be fine. I have confidence that historically Donovan Mitchell has played with the ball and off the ball. Same thing with Brunson. Randall has played well without the ball. Look at the New Orleans year, and also his years in LA. He played off the ball just fine. But he tasted success with the ball in his hand. And last season, he did not play well with the ball out of his hand. he did not play the sidekick role to Kimba and Fournier. Fournier is a better passer than many people give him credit. As soon as Randall sat and also RJ sat, Fournier was making plays by the end of the season.
Bro, I'm sorry, man. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I just want to say this thing to those that Nick G. I understand what you're saying in theory, but you're not bringing a dude in here off the scrap heap to become the number one dude on a team that just made the playoffs. It don't work like that. In theory, you would say, well, they're all a team now, but you don't bring dudes in off the street. It's like if I brought a dude in here fresh, just a random dude in that was productive somewhere else to sit on the panel with us, and y'all be sitting here and that one dude be talking all the time. How would y'all feel about that? Coach been rocking, Wiz been rocking, Hardwell, Keyshawn, Sophie, and y'all been rocking with me, but then I bring in a new dude and he come in and he do all the talking and take over, and then y'all rock only a little bit whenever he allow y'all to. You know what I'm saying? How would y'all feel about that? You know what I'm saying? You're thinking like, it shouldn't be like that because ultimately you want Blorange Tears to thrive. But we all people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me get out of here on that before Nick G cuss me. I thank you everybody for rocking with us. Nick G, I hope the baby's good, bro. Hope the family good. Stop eating up all the food, let them kids eat.
Yo, salute to everybody. Hi, Freeze.
Freeze, bless you and your family, bro.
Got my deepest condolences, brother.
Yeah, sending prayers out to you and the family, Freeze.